been sent.
Sweet.
So give it a minute, and we should be good.
We're late. We're not late.
We're never late.
Nah, we're right on time, bro.
9:16. Surely they're not going to hold 1 minute against us. We should be live on both. You should see chat on both. Yeah, let's check the pinned comments, make sure they work. Yeah.
Oh, I had an idea for the pinned comment, and I completely forgot what it was. That's why I have to write things down.
I need to just get the football open on my phone, so it's not going to distract me too much, but just so I can glance at it every now and then. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Cataclysm Chat, featuring yours truly and Classic Go, and a fine guest today by the name of Casey. Is that not what we do here? That's not what we do here, is it?
That was too proper. Almost sounded scripted. We don't script anything. This is straight off the
Well,
dome.
I have got my phone. I could literally be reading a script.
Just going through it.
But unfortunately, no. I'm on Paddy Power, looking at the football scores. Right, how are we doing, guys?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Hi, everyone in chat. We was 1 minute late. Don't hold it against us. I'm going to do the normal thing where I just say hello for all of about 5 seconds and then go, so go, how does this podcast stuff work?
Oh, for 5 seconds. Oh, I thought it was longer.
I'm done.
This podcast stuff goes like the following. If you have a question for us during the show, you want to help support us at the same time, hit us with a super chat that has like a big old bright shiny thingy on our little chat box, because we have a stream on Kick and YouTube. It's all put together, and we can put those comments on screen. Like I've got Chunk's first comment of the day, not a super chat, but it's very important information that he had on that message there. So yeah, throughout the show.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, hit us with a super chat, support us, keep us coming back week after week.
I want to see, I'm going to call him out, I want to see Chunk come over to YouTube and do the biggest super chat that we've ever seen. That's a challenge for you, Chunk, and you can put it on your expenses and I'll reimburse you after the show. But yeah, that would be great to see, wouldn't it? By the way, I just want to, I think it's only fair that we get be honest with everybody that's watching and anybody who's rewatching, like the VOD later on. I hate Cataclysm. This is going to be the worst episode we ever do. I'm really looking forward to doing the next season of Discovery Podcast. So this is going to be quite painful for me, just because, as everybody knows, I absolutely despise Cataclysm. But I'm going to do my best to try and be quite, optimistic about the whole thing all the way through. I've not been playing much. I've not really done that much on Cata so far. I just dinged 85 tonight on a DK. So we might get to talk about that a little bit. But yeah, so I'm probably a little bit behind everyone else. But once we get to what we've all been doing, I'm sure that will be made clear. So I just wanted to put it out there straight away.
Yeah, your sixth character at 85, right? That you just hit today.
7th. No.
No. First one.
Yeah, first. Well, it's actually the first level 85 I've hit 85 on today.
True.
Just today. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's the first one I've dinged 85 on today, but I am going to actually be starting my next one after this podcast. I'm not even joking. I'm going to be doing my second pally after this, but anyway. Yeah, go.
Like you said, you introduced our guest today. We have another that might be joining us here in a little bit, but for now we've got Casey, and I found him on YouTube. YouTube's algorithm blessed me with his videos, suggesting them. And from what I've seen, you've been putting out guides for 10-man heroic bosses, which is what I'm doing. So I was like, oh yeah, let me take a look at these. So yeah, how's the YouTube going? What else do you have planned on YouTube? And it's big old bucket of water.
A big old bucket of water, yeah.
On there, yeah.
YouTube's been going pretty good. I'm actually surprised with the amount of views that everything is getting. I kind of was just making these guides because I was doing 10-man heroics like everyone else, and I was looking up 10-man hero guides, and there were none. So I was like, well, my guild's like, we're killing a few of these. I'm watching 14-year-old guides. I was like, I have a little bit of experience on YouTube, so I was like, you know what, I'll just whip up some guides for people. Anybody else looking for them, maybe they can learn with me. So our guild's by no means like S tier. We're clearing things at our own pace, but like I'm just kind of uploading videos as we do them. And as far as like content beyond that, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I kind of want to do some other stuff. You know, I watch a lot of big streamers. I watch a lot of Maximum and Retail, and I think that it'd be fun to just like kind of ease into it a little bit and make some more WoW content. A background on me is that I work for Skill Capped Valorant, so a lot of people know Skill Capped in WoW. I know. I work for their Valorant team and I manage their like YouTube channel and stuff. So it's got a little bit of crossover there. I've been coming over to just play some WoW and have a good time. But
that's awesome.
Aside from that, yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. I definitely have been playing WoW since I was like 8, so it's fun to come back to it a little bit and make some content for it.
Well, you were being a little bit modest there earlier. I did do a little bit of digging to find out a little bit more about you, and you did have a second YouTube channel that I found, and it was for a different game, and it had pretty good amount of views on there, like high sub count. So
that one was for Valorant as well. So I have my original channel. Actually, I have a lot of videos on that channel. I have a WoW videos actually from way back in the day in Legion. I don't think they're public anymore, but I used to make like elemental shaman guides. I must have been like 14 years old or something. Just like going into the mic, hey guys, it's Palasu. Here's how you play elemental shaman better. I had a different name at the time, and no, like I don't know. I think that was one of my first like 1,000 view videos. I felt like, oh, it's so sick. You know, I was getting into it, but no, I switched to Valorant a couple of years ago when it came out, and I kind of grew a little bit in that. But I don't know. Just over time, it's fun to mix it up. And WoW is a game that I've always come back to. You know, it's like, I mean, it always brings you back. I feel like you get out and then it just pulls you back in eventually. So, yeah, I'm back again.
That's why I love Go. Go really goes in and does the research for these podcasts. We'd been doing these podcasts for about 6 months before I even knew he had a YouTube channel. Like, I didn't even know who he was. He just turned up one day. I was like, hello. This is weird. Yeah, I've done absolutely no preparation for this whatsoever because I've had zero time. And again, we'll get to why that is very soon. But I never do any prep. Or yeah, any of you that enjoy this podcast, like you've got Go to thank for it because he does so much that you wouldn't even realize. I could show you all the show notes for tonight, all the talking points that we're going to do. None of it's come from me. He just said, should we talk about this? And I'm pretty sure all I put was, yep. 3 letters.
Sounds good, mate.
Sounds good, mate. Yeah, that's all I could find the time to put was, that'll do. Yeah, great. I literally didn't read any of it. He could have said, should we talk about how a guest got their balls out live once, and maybe let's watch it back and let's comment on it. And anyway.
All right, so back to Casey. You said that you made Ellie Shaman videos back in the day, and from what I've seen in your current videos, you're still playing Ellie Shaman. So is that your main? Are you playing any other alt characters, any other classes, specs?
That was my first experience as Ellie Shaman in Legion, and for some reason I kind of fell in love with it. So I play Ellie Shaman in Legion. I play it in Retail right now. I played it in SOD at the beginning phase 1, and I'm playing it in Cata and Wrath. I did. So yeah, and then other than that, I just leveled the demo lock to max this week. And I've been learning them. It's kind of a little bit more complex than Ellie right now, but there's a lot of snapshotting stuff, and that's pretty similar to what it was. I mean, for Ellie and Wrath, and still now. And then there's also I have a prot warrior who I'm sad playing a lot of the times because they're not as good as Blood DKs or any of the other tanks. But no, I enjoy warriors too a little bit. But yeah, I got my 3 tunes right now, and I'm just trying to max out on Valor after those changes. So that's been kind of a pain in the butt, if I'm being honest, but yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people, myself included, that started off doing PvP and then they came back to Classic and then switched over to PvE. So are you doing any PvP, or did you used to back in the day?
I have. It's mostly just like messing around with my friends and stuff. I respect Resto recently though, and Resto is busted, it feels like. Comparative to like Ellie, I just die when I'm Ellie, but as like a Resto, I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing and I'm just winning. You know, so that's kind of nice. Spear Link Totem is absolutely busted. I don't know, but Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with that. I do kind of want to push for higher rating. Like I said, I mean, I work for Skill Cap Valorant, so like I could watch their WoW videos, I'm sure, and probably climb a little bit. So maybe I'll do that and like try to climb on it. But I don't really have any PvP goals or anything.
I've got a very serious question that could split the room. Are you Horde or Alliance? This is normally Go's question, but I'm putting it out there so I sound like I'm adding something to this conversation.
I think I'm safe because I see the banner in the background. I play Horde, and I've only ever played Horde. I think I played Alliance and Legion, and I hated it. So yeah, Horde all the way.
I got the Alliance one. It's just kind of covered up because
Oh,
fuck the
I can't
Alliance.
even see that. Yeah.
If I ever go Alliance, I can just switch the backpack from BlizzCon into the other side, and then I can show off the Alliance banner.
Love you, Dalax, by the way. Yeah, I'm already on MOP private servers, so thanks for pointing out. But yes, yeah, I absolutely am already playing on Stormforge, leveling multiple characters, so always a year ahead of everyone.
Speaking of MOP, Scotty, great segue. What is your favorite expansion in WoW? Are we playing it right now in Cata, or are you waiting on MOP? Is this the MOP waiting room for you?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah.
He won't ask me any questions, mate. Don't worry.
No.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. My favorite is probably, I don't know if I could choose. I played the most in MOP, and that was when I really grinded. But like even then, I really think that I only remember Siege of Orgrimmar. I was so young at the time. But I also played a little bit in Cata. It's like weird. You pick up these like little bits and pieces, and like so I remember most of this year, but I don't remember all of the bosses. It's something that's always been interesting to me too. Is like I think back to like when I was a kid and I actually played. I don't know if I even like knew that heroics existed, or maybe I was doing them and I just don't remember. I just played the game and I just tried to do as much damage as possible, and I had like a great time. Whereas like you contrast that now to like nowadays, it's like I'm trying to push heroics. I'm like working hard with my guild, like trying to figure out what we can do and stuff like that. It's really a different perspective. And then like also on top of that, you have all like the DPS rankings and stuff nowadays too, where it's like you know where you stack up against other people. It's not just your own game. Like people will tell you if you're bad. So it's like it's a weird contrast, I feel like, from when I used to play. But
yeah, I got told I was bad on my VOD from the other day because they were like, dude, you need to keybind your battle res. And I was like, I don't want to keybind it because I want to be slow to react to it so that I don't get asked to be res first.
I don't
let
even
the DK be res first.
I don't even resort to your comments. I just directly message you. I message you saying, man, you're bad. Why are you doing that on Chogle? Man, you're bad. Why can't we see your entire screen while you zoomed in playing Action ARPG? I don't fuck about with YouTube comments. I just tell you.
Dude, I was live for an hour the other day, and Scotty came in and he was like, dude, why is your screen zoomed in? I was like, everybody watching hasn't said shit for an hour. Like it's been zoomed in so you can only see like my character in the middle of the screen walking around.
So I'm gonna tell you something that annoyed me. Sorry, Casey, just one sec, because I need to get this off my chest. Because I was writing a comment on your YouTube video, that VOD, I was writing a comment on, because I was watching it. And halfway through, because I woke, obviously I fell asleep watching you, and then when I woke up in the morning, I rewound back to where I fell asleep, and then was going to watch the rest of the VOD. While I was watching, I got video unavailable, literally just pop up where you took the video down. So I went into the comments section to say, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I was actually enjoying that. But obviously, because you took the video off, I couldn't even leave a comment anymore. So yeah, like, don't take it. I genuinely do watch your VODs back. So like, you know, at least give me a day and then take them off.
That was like the one VOD that I've taken off because I doxed myself and I put my phone number on screen on accident. I had a notepad with my phone number and I tabbed to the notepad and it just popped up there. So like while I was live, I just kind of like took it down and didn't say like, oh fuck, I just put my number on screen. I just played it cool. And then as soon as it went, like as soon as I finished the stream, I unlisted it, and then Nest came in and he was like talking about going back to watch the video and find my number, and I was like, well, now I gotta fucking delete it. So I just deleted it.
Oh,
that exact thing happened. I was shopping online. I was doing like Amazon purchases. My chat was linking me things, and I opened one up and it showed my address. I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
just immediately you have to go back.
Why? Thanks for the super chat. Why do you run an awful Shadow Priest? Sorry, who is that directed at? You're gonna have to.
Well, he said
he's
Casey.
talking to me.
Oh, is he talking to you?
So this funny thing happened with the videos that I was posting. So as you know, you're talking about comments and stuff like that. Most comments, it feels like, at least like recently for me, have been pretty nice. Some of them are kind of mean, and I just kind of hide them right away, or I like delete them. And this guy kept commenting on my video, and he kept being like, "Your Shadow Priest is horrible. You have to kick this guy." And I was like, "What's this guy's problem?" It's just a guide. He's not even like the featured in the video, you know. So I delete the first one. I go to the next video. He commented it again. He's like, "You need to kick your Shadow Priest. This guy's horrible." So I hide this guy from the channel. I'm like, what an asshole, you know. I don't want to deal with this guy. And then I go into my guild chat, and I'm like telling him, I'm like, "Hey guys, like, I'm trying to protect our Shadow Priest, and this is Sandy. I'm trying to protect Sandy because like this guy keeps commenting mean things. I don't want to see it because I know he watches the videos, you know." The next day, Sandy joins call. He's like, "Do you see all the funny comments I was writing on your videos? I was telling you your Shadow Priest sucks." I was like, "That was you?" I'm trying to protect my buddy, dude.
I respect him even more now. That's awesome. Mine's normally, dude, you need to kick that rep paladin. And they don't realize that it's actually me.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, so you do stream on Twitch as well, yeah? So do you have like any sort of schedule? Is it kind of like random?
It's kind of random. You know, raid nights during the day sometimes. You know, I started doing a little bit more. Like I said, I got like 3 characters now. I think that, man, something I'd like to see in Classic. Maybe people disagree with this, but I like the retail feature where you can run the raids multiple times and not get loot. Obviously, it'll break the game right now the way it works because there's no personal loot or anything. But it feels like the only way that you can raid more is by having more characters. So I level 3 tunes, and now sometimes I just raid. I'll do like pugs and stuff. They're always horrible, but you know, I mean, it's fun sometimes. You know.
I don't see why that would be an unpopular opinion. I think Go will back me up. I've been saying this same shit for months. Like, absolutely, why not? You know, if you've got a second group in the guild that are missing someone, and you can just jump in and go and help out, knowing you're going to get no loot. But you know, let's say like at this point in time, experience of the bosses for a lot of people is actually more valuable than loot is. You know, loot's only going to get you so far. So like, I'd be pugging. Like, especially for me who does stream, and most of the time, you know, I'm like, when I'm streaming, I want to be raiding or doing something that's fun to watch. I'd love to be able to just go in and join random pugs and fuck bosses up. But, you know, literally, just for fun. I don't need loot. So I like that, and that's what it looked like we was gonna get, or what it sounded like we was gonna get. Where loot was on a boss lockout system or however they worded it, and I was like, oh, maybe it is going to be that. Obviously, that ain't. They just worded it poorly, but yeah, I'm with you. That's why I've got so many characters. And again, when we get into what we've all been doing, yeah, it's kind of vulgar. But Go. Anything else?
No, let's move on into it. What all we've been doing. So we got to hear the guests first. What have you been up to since launch? Like the past 3 weeks?
Wait. You done a little fun little game for us. Did you not want to?
I was gonna wait for Subtle.
Oh, you wanted to wait for Subtle? Oh, okay. You can wait for Subtle.
Yeah. Let Subtle have a chance to help out with the guesses, the answers.
Okay.
I'm gonna need his help. So, since launch, I mean, I've just been leveling the characters and stuff like that. We can even go before launch. So I'm like the type of person where, like, as long as I can do things, I'm going to do them. Like, I don't have the self control. So before launch, I was doing archaeology, and I was just spamming that. I think I did probably 700 total solves or something, and I ended up getting my staff and stuff. You know, I got the ring that I wanted, but it was just like a pain in the butt. And then I hit max, and it's like, okay, well, now I got to do all these heroics. So of course you do all the heroics. I got all my best gear and stuff like that. I'm farming the Tolbarad trinket. I'm doing all the normal stuff, you know, to get all my gear. I did that on my shaman, and I finished, and I was like, well, I might as well level another tune. So I leveled my warrior. I did the exact same thing, got him to max. I got the shield. And I've just been getting all my characters juiced out. My most favorite recently, though, is the Demolock. I've never played a warlock ever. I think I played one at Sod for a little bit. And yeah, I just got this guy to max. I've been messing around with him. I'm building up my mastery set now, which is just goofy, but you know, it's a fun time. I hope they don't nerf that. But no, yeah, I just leveling the characters. Still a little bit of PvP. I think I mentioned earlier I was playing Resto and stuff like that, and that's been a lot of fun. Aside from that, not a whole bunch. You know, just studying, doing my raids, trying to do the 10-man heroics, and that's about it.
Never pug on your warlock. Just never ever pug on your warlock, unless you know you're in a pug where they respect pool timers. I'm just putting it out there now.
Dude, I needed on a piece with it had like a bunch of spirit and then like a bunch of mastery, and I rolled like 99 like off spec, and like they started giving me shit. They're like, how does a warlock have an off spec? I'm like, I'm just not a jerk. Like I don't want to steal this from somebody who actually needs it because I don't need spirit, but like I'll take it for the mastery. No,
I meant the more when you're in your mastery gear and then they pull on 4 seconds and you're like, well, I'm fucked.
Oh, nobody gets it. Yeah, nobody's thinking about me. They don't care. They're pulling as early as they can. But
yeah, how did you level up? Did you quest all the way up there? Did you mix in some dungeons, or did you completely dungeon spam to get up there? Your first
on my main, I think I dungeon spammed to 82. I did like Deep Home, and then I did like I did mostly Twilight Highlands. I think that got me to 85. Honestly, I did like 2 zones, a little bit of Asher, I guess. And then all my alts, I just kind of dungeon spammed. Like I would do quests while I was in queues and stuff like that. But I just wanted to make sure I got all the rep done. Like it's you want to get it out of the way so you can get all your best gear and stuff. But I don't really care about my alts as much. So.
Scotty, I know this will probably take at least 5 minutes to explain your DK and all that stuff. So go ahead.
Where do you want me to start from? Because we haven't done anything since before launch.
I mean, if you want to do the same thing, how did you level up your tunes? Because I know your first tune, I think I saw you dungeon spamming a lot. A couple people in your party got server first for their classes. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, go ahead. Take it away from launch, dude.
Yeah, so all right, so from launch, we had big plans and then completely changed our plans. So yeah, we was going to dungeon farm because we knew everybody was going to dungeon farm to 82 and then go Deep Home. We was going to dungeon farm to 83 and then go Oldham, and then basically just split up and then go our own way. But we very quickly realised that just literally from 82 doing Stonecore. Until 80, from 82 to 83 was just so ludicrously fast that we was like, well, yeah, we'll just carry on doing this. And we actually made a mistake that we've now corrected on other characters where we actually went to 84 and then went to Grim Patrol. But yeah, we got server first 85 Mage, 85 Shaman, 85 Druid. Because we went to Grim Baton and was getting like 4 million XP an hour. It was ludicrous how fast it was going. But you can actually go to Grim Baton at 83. So if we'd have actually put some preparation in on the beta or whatever, we would have known that that's what we would have what we would have done, and probably then got server first on all 5 classes. But yeah, so we got we done that. We leveled up in dungeons, and we leveled 4 characters in the first reset, doing exactly the same thing and just fine-tuning it. So by the end of the first reset, I had 85 Priest, Mage, Druid, Paladin. I've just finished a DK now, and I've also got a Hunter and a Shaman, and I'm about to level a second Paladin. Sorry, there is actually a Warrior as well, but I can't really claim credit for that because my brother leveled it. But but there's a lot of 85s to raid on. But I raid in 4 completely different teams, all in the same guild. So 13 heroic in like the main team that I raid with. Then I raid with like an EU 25-man team that we're progressing through slowly. I think we're like 6 heroic, something like that. The NA side of the team, which I raid on at 2 a.m. Every Tuesday and Thursday, which I think is also like 6 heroic, but different heroics. And then I'll do a chill sort of Sunday run on my mage where, I think we've only killed Halfus heroic. So they're drastically different raids, but that's what I really love. We've got our try hard team where we're 13 to 13 heroic. We push hard. We expect like the best, but then I'm raiding with like 3 other teams where I get to raid with the boys and get to have fun, and we're all like progressing at everybody's own pace, if you know what I mean.
That's one of the crazy things about WoW too is that like there's just so many different players, and like you experience that when you join a random group or something like that. And it's just like you just see like the different levels. Like some people they couldn't clear heroics if they wanted to, and they don't want to. It's just like they just don't care. And then there's some people that they need to, otherwise they don't have fun. It's really a different contrast.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, it's probably quite a strange thing to say. Well, I don't know if it's a strange thing to say or a bit of a dickish thing to say, but the 13 of 13 heroic group is great. I love it. Like, it was really fun. The actual like push in progress the first week. But the most fun I have is on Sundays at 3 p.m. with like my brother is in there. You know, we've got some people in there that like don't want to commit to like doing 2-3 days a week raiding or anything. You know, they just want to do everything in 3 hours. They want everything killed in 3 hours. And I have so much fun in that raid. You know, literally, it is the most casual raid that you can imagine. It's not for everyone, but we do kill all of the bosses. But, you know, it might take us, I don't know, maybe a few months before we're realistically killing all of them on heroic. You know, like this week, we're going to try and throw in the last week. The first week, we just done a full normal clear. Then the second week, we just killed Halphus, heroic, and obviously everything else on normal. This week, we'll probably do like Chimeron, maybe Atramedes, you know, and then the next week, we'll throw in another couple. Like, yeah, just slowly ramp up, but always do everything within 3 hours. But again, it's like varying skill levels. You know, these like some of these people are not the people that you would take to a 13 heroic clear and expect it to go particularly quick. But that is kind of my favorite run. I look forward to that run every week. So, you know, it's not all about loot, but my paladin's fucking stacked. I've already got Bish trinkets, 4-piece heroic tier, you know, 372 weapon. Like my paladin's absolutely stacked, but I'm lucky. I was going to say I use streamer privilege, but I actually don't. I'm just very lucky that like I'm one of the only strength users in there, so
I mean, you were pulling like 12-hour prog sessions. That
yeah,
first lockout. Like,
we went fucking hard. Yeah. We went hard. I mean, we probably had like just on Sinestra alone was probably 6 hours, I reckon. Probably just to get Sinestra down. But we done no like, you know, there was no like playing on the beta and doing those bosses. You know, it was like hard prog. You know, the first time we saw it as a group was actually when it was live. So yeah, we was doing very long raids. I mean, you say, yeah, one of the days was like 13 hours. We raided for like 13 hours in one sitting. And yeah, I mean, in that time we got, you know, maybe 4 or 5 new bosses down. But yeah, we did go hard. But basically, you know, the time that we would that most guilds spent on the beta or on private servers getting their tactics down, we done it actually live. And just went super fucking, yeah, hardcore.
Yeah, whenever people make the comparisons like that, I always feel the same way. Where it's like, I mean, like, what's the difference between spending a bunch of hours on private servers or in the beta doing it versus just doing it live? You know, so if people are like a week or two behind, I don't think that's like the end of the world. The 12-hour rating sessions, though, that sounds like something I could get behind. We don't do that. We do the 6 hours a week, and we do what we can during that time. But like, man, I am always gaming. Like I said, if there's something to be done, I will be doing it. So aside from like obviously like I raid with my guild and stuff, if I were to find another guild, I would totally be down for something like that. That'd be really fun for me. But
mate, this week has been awful. Like Casey, this week has been awful. You know, where like our team, all of them are like, what do we do? You know, like we've gone 2 days in a row. We've gone 2 days in a row now with no raids. It's like, what's going on? Normally, you know, up until now, it's been like, let's go do Nef progress, let's go do Sinestra progress, let's go to, you know, whatever. And now there's none of that. It's kind of like, this feels weird, not raiding every day.
Yeah, we had to cancel our raid on Thursday because one of our guys' powers went out. Which also that sucks about 10 mans is that like you're kind of like relying on 10 people, and one of them leaves, and it's like, ah, shit, that's like 10% of our raid. So then we just had to call it. We rescheduled the Monday, and it's like, man, this sucks. I gotta wait like another 4 days or whatever. But that's how it goes.
That's about me anyway. I will throw in one thing. I have been doing a lot of PvP. I done more probably like week 1 and this week I've done more PvP. But definitely once like Jay's on holiday at the moment, once he's back, we're gonna actually start PvPing seriously, the two of us. But like up until this point, I've just been doing 2s or 3s with literally anybody who will do it with me, and it's been a lot of fun. We want to start RBGs up well, preferably this week. So yeah, I am looking forward to that. Literally, just been doing everything.
Have you been doing fishing too? Because I started fishing, and it's kind of nice to be sitting there just doing something casual while I'm watching a show. And it's been decent gold. I sold a stack of some kind of fish in Oldham for 950 gold for a stack last night.
Favomil?
Some lava core catfish or something.
Oh,
It's
okay.
something for
Oh,
the
that's
feast.
the tank food, huh?
Yeah, is it the mastery food?
I think it might be both mastery and for the feast.
I've
remember.
done no fishing. I probably won't do any fishing.
Oh,
Yeah, I tried to get my guild to do the fishing achievement. I got laughed out of the Discord. So when you mentioned fishing, I was like, yeah.
yeah. So I've only got one tune. Well, I've got two that are 85. I'm only raiding on one tune, only playing on one tune. I don't even know why I leveled the second tune up. It was supposed to be my PvP tune because I played Druid. So the main is Troll and my ult was Tauren. So I was like, I want a PvP on my Tauren, so I have War Stomp, and I'll PvE on the Troll, so I have Berserk. And then I started gearing up PvP gear on the Troll, and I was like, well, I've already committed to this tune for both, so now my second 85 is just kind of sitting there chilling. But I got my professions up. I got every single profession to Exalted pretty quickly, except for Ramkahin, and then I went back and did that one like week 2 or something. I started to build my mastery snapshotting set for the Sunkin meta, but Sunkin got nerfed, so I didn't really have to level up my Ramkahin rep, but I have to complete it. You know, it was the one rep that just wasn't fully max exalted, and it was bugging the fuck out of me. So I was like, yeah, I got to do it. I've been doing twos with Zach, as Zach's been.
You've been griefing, apparently. You've been griefing in the twos. Being told you're griefing by Zach. That's a questionable experience I'm seeing right now.
I think we both griefed. We grief back and forth. It just depends on the game. Sometimes I mess something up. Mostly it's Zach messing up, but no, it's been fun to just go in there to the arena and just smash out some games, get some easy conquest points. I love that you can get some conquest even if you lose. Like that's brilliant for me. Like 75 or whatever it is instead of 250 for a win. I love it.
Yeah, it's like 1 hour of winning or 4 of losing, you know?
Yeah. But I've been doing. I have a full PvP set, like 6 or 7 pieces of conquest gear. So like 3,200 resilience. It's still Darkmoon card Volcano. I bought mine for 40k week 1. I think that was about the lowest it got on Mancrick before Darkmoon Fair closed, and then like the price went up, and then Darkmoon Fair got changed, and then there were that whole situation where some people might have lucked out, got it for like 10, 12k.
13k. I got mine for the priest. 13k.
13k for a volcano card?
Hey, well, I bought the deck the day before Blizzard announced the change that Darkmoon Fair would be every 2 weeks.
Man, that's crazy.
I mean, I've got it on. I've got it on like I've got it on three characters. but I was very lucky. It was Gracious of all people. Obviously, Gracious. He literally put a message in guild chat saying, "Oh, I just managed to get Volcano for 12k." And I was like, "What? How?" And then I looked and was like, "Oh, it's just a deck." And then I looked on the calendar and was like, "Well, yeah, it's 3 weeks away. Like, well, what are you going to do with that shit?" So I thought, well, I'll tell you what, I'll pick one up because it's only going to go up in price. And it was literally the day before. So he paid 12k. I went and bought one for 13. But it was literally the day before the change.
You said you have like 10 alts, right? Surely one of them you're not going to play for like 3 weeks. Well,
yeah, that was it. Exactly. I bought it on my Disc Priest. So I bought it on my Disc Priest thinking, well, like it's all right for Disc, but obviously I bought it purely for Shadow. But because I don't play a lot of Shadow, like I'm raiding as Disc. I was like, yeah, I don't mind. Like waiting a few weeks for it for the sake of 13k. Like I'll wait a few weeks, but then it got changed, and literally the announcement went out, and within 10-15 minutes they were back up to like 20-21k. Like they just the decks on their own just shot up almost instantly, and I was tempted to sell it, but I do like my priest.
I think the raid group I'm in, it's a 10-man group. I want to say we're 9 out of 13 right now, heroic, and we still have tonight to clean up 3 of the bosses. We did everything up to Council, and then just did Council normal, and then we still have Neff, Sindragosa, and Maloriak, I think, are the last 3 for us to
Sinestra?
go to tonight. Sinestra, yeah. What did I say? Sindragosa?
Sindragosa, yeah.
Sinestra. Yeah, I haven't even looked at that boss fight yet, so oops.
Have you attempted Maloriak yet?
No.
Man, we were trying to do it on Tuesday, and there's this it's got to be a bug. For the flash freeze, if you have like lightning shield on, or if you have like retribution aura, we think if you use penance on the person who's hit by it or holy shock, just one shots them immediately. So it's just like, it feels like straight RNG sometimes, but we were figuring it out. I was watching Sardako too, and he was doing it, and his strat was don't do anything when flash freeze is about to just stand still. And then beyond that, there's all the ads and stuff. Most people are taking it to like 9 minutes now. It's just like it feels like the Vezax of Cataclysm. I'm not gonna lie. Like you either wait it out. You can cheese it and just like try to rush through it with all the ads and stuff if you have the damage, but I don't think most people are gonna have that. So I don't even know we have that. We got it to like 3% twice. So we're going back on Monday and we're gonna kill it. But no, that fight is annoying.
Yeah, like Lee just said in chat, bring a book. Like it literally is. It is just a very, very boring fight. You've got to have. Yeah, you don't need skill. You need patience. Like literally, that's it. But you're right with a flash freeze. Like we don't risk it. We don't have any melee go to the ads. We don't have anybody stand within about 15 yards of each other. Like yeah, we play it ultra safe. And honestly, since that one change where it's like do not stand anywhere near somebody else, and then it kind of sorted itself out. But we were seeing that as well. Like someone would literally get flash froze, and then not even 1 second later, half a second, it's broke, they're dead, and no one's like too close to them. But yeah, it's kind of it does seem a bit funky. I'll be honest with you. But there is some good ways to cheese that fight. Just FYI, like making sure you push the last phase during an Arcane Storm. So when Arcane Storm starts channeling, when Arcane Storm's just about to come in, make sure you push the boss, all stack up, use all defensive cooldowns. So like Barrier, AM. Well, not AM because it's nature damage. I ain't going to do fuck all. But like Barrier, Guardian, just whatever you've got. And then you've got like a full fucking like 8 seconds of just nuking the boss super, super hard while he's technically in the last phase.
Kick it, you just let it go off.
You don't kick it. Yeah, you just heal through it. On Heroic, it's going to take a lot more output and a lot more organization, obviously, than on normal. But it's a good way to more or less just delete the boss in the last phase.
Yeah, brute force it.
Yeah. Looking forward to people trying that and then raging on this video that it don't work. Trust me, it works. It works. It works. We've done it, so it definitely works. But it's it's risky. It takes like good timing, good coordination, making sure that you've got all your cooldowns ready.
I guess the last thing I did was I got the itch to solo stuff. You know, at the beginning of an expansion, I always try to go back and solo some stuff that I couldn't the expansion before. So I went back to Molten Core, full cleared Molten Core, killed Rag for the first time solo. That felt pretty cool. I watched a video on how to do Blackwing Lair, and it looked like it was changed where the egg breaking when you're mind controlling the boss was super quick. And I guess that was like a retail video. So I went in there trying to do that, expecting it to work that way. And it was still the long ass cast with like the long cooldown in between. So I didn't get to clear that, but I did go back and watch another video. Somebody did do it and they somehow glitched the ads. They like reset the ads and then none of the ads spawned and came up and attacked you. And they went and did it. So I got to go back to BWL and try to solo BWL. I need my tier 2 shoulders for transmog. And I soloed the boss in Heroic Utgard Pinnacle for the mount. Didn't get the mount yet, but I couldn't do that at level 80. I tried and felt bad that I could get to the boss, get it to like 50%, but I could never kill it. Now I can go in there solo that for the mount. If I ever wanted that mount achievement for 100 mounts or whatever it is. I tried to solo something else too, and I failed, completely failed. I tried like TBC raids. Oh, I did clear what's it called? Karazhan. Killed Prince, soloed chest, did all that stuff, and that was fun. I had gotten up to Curator in Wrath, and then I couldn't kill Curator. So going in there and killing that fucker felt good.
I'm trying not to say anything nasty, so I'm just
I
going
know.
to
Just
nod
go
and
there.
just
You
nod
could
and
solo
smile.
everything.
Yeah,
Ruh, ruh, ruh.
exactly.
My DK could go in there and
Just go feral, mate. Like you're literally playing the class.
Yeah.
You could just go feral and do all of this very easily.
I figured you were on feral. I didn't know you were doing boomy. Yeah,
boomy. Yeah, all boomy. Yeah, no, I don't go feral.
I want to just like try and sound as like I don't want to sound condescending or patronizing or anything. So give me a sec. Good job, little buddy.
Thanks. Good job, big dog.
Nice one, big dog. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go Prog and Kara still. Yeah, thanks, Lee. Yeah, so we've got some news to talk about, Scotty.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
I guess we can start going in order, unless for some reason we start hopping around.
Well, we've got raid difficulties, sizes. Or are we waiting until Subtle's here to talk about that sort of stuff?
Yeah, that'd be at the towards the end.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, you might as well. I'll go for a piss, and you can start with the balance news that I don't care about.
Woohoo! Yeah, so balance druids got buffed. Well, we got nerfed first, and then we got buffed. So the whole Sunkin meta is kind of like Warlocks, where we could snapshot our mastery and our solar eclipse, and then switch our gear off to like our normal raiding gear, hit capped, haste gear, all that stuff. And it was pretty big damage compared to if you weren't snapshotting your mastery. But a lot of the mastery gear is like tank gear trinkets, it's melee DPS rings, it's cloth gear. So as a boomy, you're kind of going after gear from everybody else that you're not supposed to go after. And it was going to be kind of troll to get that set in like a pug random dungeon finder heroic group, which is what I was going to do. And I got some feedback on that people weren't happy about, and I was like, yeah, fuck it, I don't care. I need my mastery set.
Once you run like 100 dungeons, it's all out the window. Like you see the item drop, you're like, that one's mine.
Yeah, I'm needing on it. Like fuck it. But yeah, that got nerfed quick. It was kind of like, it reminded me of Warriors when they were theory crafting the fiery weapon enchant. I don't remember if that was TBC or Wrath.
I think it was a TBC, maybe early Wrath. It might have been, but
yeah, and they nipped that in the bud like really quick. And I'm kind of glad they did that with the whole Sunkin stuff, because I had just started building my set. I had like 5 pieces, so I hadn't fully created a set, but I know other people that did. They had like a full fucking mastery set, like good to go. And they nerfed that, and then there was no announcement of it. We just kind of logged in on Tuesday, and our eclipse was resetting. Like we would get into solar before boss pull, boss would get pulled, and then we would be back to 0 energy, no eclipse, and like what the fuck is going on? So it took about a week and a half, and I think they finally put a blue post out, and they were like, yeah, we made this change so that people wouldn't change the way that they had planned on gearing to try to get mastery gear to snapshot and all that stuff. And they were like, to compensate for this, we're going to change Insect Swarm to Spellstorm damage. So Insect Swarm will now do arcane damage when you're in Lunar. And they were like, we expect this to be 15% extra damage for Insect Swarm. And it's like, oh, cool, thanks. One of our dots that we apply every 20 seconds gets a 15% damage buff. Thank you. Overall damage buff. So I Scotty was saying people were whispering him saying that it was bugged, but I haven't looked at it myself. But it's
not bugged.
Intended.
It's not bugged. Yeah, no. People was whispering saying it's bugged because it's not showing it on the tooltip. It doesn't say Spellstorm damage on the tooltip still.
Oh.
But if you look in the combat log, it is doing Spellstorm damage.
Yeah, so I think
I mean, it's still bottom of the damage anyway. You know, it doesn't really fucking matter. Like you can only polish a turd so much, can't you?
I know, like I've seen a lot of feedback of Boomy saying, "Hey, like that's not enough compensation. You know, we want mushrooms to also deal Spellstorm damage. So because it's still kind of beneficial to stay in solar, especially in heroics, and just not cast wraths or anything like that, not cast star surges, and just sit solar phase the whole time. So if mushrooms also did Spellstorm damage, and we could pop mushrooms in Lunar, that'd be pretty fucking cool. But are there any?
If
other
anyone's listening,
yeah, the walls are listening.
Yeah, if there's any Blizzard devs in here, I just want to say, fuck Boomkins. Like They're fine. They're fine. It's just they need to adjust to the Cataclysm playstyle, and then they'll eventually get better. Either that, or they'll get more gear, and they'll have to play with people who have got 20 less item level than them.
Well, have either of you seen any classes like underperforming or overperforming that you think might need tweaked? Because I know Blood DK was something that people were like, "Yo, this is going to be super fucking busted. Like, it's going to need nerfed, or the other tanks are going to need buffed to catch up to the Blood DKs." And I was watching your stream a little bit earlier, Scotty, when you were level 84, and you said that you were out DPSing fully geared level 85 characters.
So, I wasn't Blood. I was Frost, and
well, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, no Blood. We've got 2 Blood DK tanks like in our group, so no, they're fine.
I very limited experience tanking, but I love my Prot Warrior, and I gotta say I could just suck. That's probably part of it. I probably do suck, but like. Number one, my damage feels single target and way lower than every single other tank. Like I'm literally like half the damage that they're doing, and I could just suck. So that could be part of it. The other one too is that I just get chunked like hard, and I have no healing like whatsoever. So like I was killing Neff the other day. I'm on like a pillar. I had already used my Enrage Regeneration on like Oni early on, and then I get onto the pillar, and my healer didn't come with me, and I just die. You know, like I'm dying to passive damage. It's not even that much damage during that phase too. So it's just like, man. I like the mobility. I like the area controls, kind of nice with like shockwave and stuff. What I was thinking is like, let me use Victory Rush like every 30 seconds or something. You know, I think that would be like a really nice change to kind of like make them a little bit more survivable, but also just a single target damage. Their AoE is great. Single target just feels horrible. But...
Sorry, I thought Subtle just joined the call, but it was definitely Casey saying that, wasn't it? Just checking.
Does he feel the same way? Or...
he said exactly the same thing about Warrior. You know, like if Shield Slam had a chance to make Victory Rush become usable, or something along those lines, you know, where it could be proc based, but yeah, you've got a chance to be able to do some self healing. I mean, okay, like I was obviously being completely sarcastic a minute ago. Like, yes, we've got Blood DKs in both 25-man teams, both 10-man teams. We literally done all 13 of 13 heroic with double Blood DK. Yes, they are absolutely head and shoulders above all the other tanks. Like there's no other way to describe it. Like they are that much better. Do you need them? No, like I honestly don't think so. Like Prot Paladin is solid. Prot Warrior is kind of got its places, but yeah, I wouldn't want to run a Prot Warrior. I would run a Prot Paladin and Feral Druid as an example. Main tank Prot Paladin, off tank Feral Druid. I would run in any 25-man. Would I want that comp? Like, no, I would much prefer a Blood DK. I would actually much prefer a Blood DK and a Prot Paladin. And this is me now completely contradicting what I said, you know, in all of the Cataclysm podcasts leading up to launch. And the reason for it is there's not that many fights where the feral tank actually gets to go cat. There's not that many situations where, you know, that's a thing. Whereas, like, if we was to talk about 10-man, in 10-man, you're very limited on raid cooldowns. So having one of your tanks being able to bring such a huge cooldown like Divine Guardian on certain fights is going to be so much more valuable than having that feral tank that can occasionally go cat, but actually brings nothing of too much value. It's like, okay, they're gonna bring Stampeding Raw. Like, there's going to be certain fights where Stampeding Raw is going to be useful, but you need it for any fight? No. Whereas, like, having Divine Guardian, a nice actual damage reduction cooldown on the raid is huge. Like, I'm starting to rate Prot Paladin higher and higher, like, as the weeks go by. Where to the point where I think the optimal comp for, like, tanking comp would be a Blood DK and a Prot Paladin.
Not only that, but so our guild, we run a Blood DK and a Prot Paladin, and it's so nice for a lot of different mechanics on fights. So, for example, Halfus, you can bubble the stacks off, so you don't even need to worry about it, and he could take the boss so much longer. You could do that with a Holy Paladin too. I know you can bop them, but like it's just a lot more convenient to have the Prot Paladin too. And then not only that, but like on Conclave, we don't even do a tank swap until like the very end. I think we just have our Prot Paladin set on Azir. Our healer leaves, and we do a healer swap, but our tank just stays there and he bops his stacks off. And it's like, it's nice that you can just skip that. You know, you don't have to worry about it. I know that when we tried to do tank swaps, we just end up with Nazir in our face shooting frost at all of us when we land. It's just a nightmare. So like having the ability to just simplify stuff is super nice on a lot of these fights.
Yeah, we do the same, but we don't even swap healers. We have a Holy Paladin and a Prot Paladin on Nazir, and they both bubble their stacks off, and no one needs to move. Like, yeah, job's a good one. But yeah, I'm starting to rate Prot Paladin a lot higher than Feral Tank. And bearing in mind, like, I've been tanking on my Feral, I've been DPSing as Feral. Yeah, you know, like I've kind of seen like all of it, like across like all bosses, maybe not all difficulties. You know, I haven't killed like Neff and Sinestra Heroic as an example on all of my characters. You know, it is only the Paladin. But like, yeah, I'm starting to see value in far more than the what was going to be the meta comp of DK Druid, which we was talking about for so long. In fact, in 10 man, as I say, I don't think that is a meta comp tank setup at all. But the question was about Blood DKs. Do I think they need nerfing? And the honest answer is no. No, I don't think they need nerfing, but I do think the other tanks need some love. You know, I'm not for, like, what would you do? Like, what would you do to a Blood DK? Like, start reducing its absorb shield? I don't know, it's got a lot of, like, a Blood DK's got a lot of cooldowns. What makes it strong? Like, you can't touch those. I mean, when you look at a feral tank, like the amount of absorb they actually do physical damage with what's it called? Like your mastery effects. Help someone.
I don't play DK.
Yeah.
No, Druid. I'm talking about Druid. I'm talking about Druid.
Druid.
Bloody. I could even see the icon. I just can't think of the name. I have been drinking since like 3 o'clock this afternoon. But anyway, yeah, like savage defense. Thank you, Zach. You know, when you need help from Zach, you know you're struggling. Yeah,
Yeah.
with savage defense, but like, you know, I can out heal healers with savage defense. Like, you know, it is that good. But then you've got like Prot Warrior, which has just got fuck all. It's like they've got critical block. They can literally reduce the amount of damage they block by 10% versus a Paladin when he's got Holy Shield up. You know, it's kind of just not good enough. But yeah, but you did actually say, I will shut the fuck up in a second, but you did also say about like other classes, like outliers. That was the whole point. You used DK as an example. But I do think DK appears really strong on the face of it, even in terms of being like unholy, the damage they do. Blood, yeah, as tanks. Frost, not so much. I play Frost purely for fun. You know, like I've been leveling as Frost for fun because in 5-man heroics, like Frost is just nutty. Like it's ridiculous. It's broken. But I'm not seeing many good boomies. I'm just going to tell you what I've not seen. You know, what I've not seen anything good. And I'm not worrying about Warcraft logs and what that's showing. I mean, my own personal experience. I've not seen many good boomies, and I've not seen many good Shadow Priests. They're the two, to be honest. And I know, like, Shadow Priest is actually performing pretty well. But I personally haven't seen like a Shadow Priest pumping, and I've been like, oh my god, man! Like finally, there is one that can do damage. It seems like any time I'm in a raid with a Boomy or a Shadow Priest, they're normally like struggling to beat the Disc Priest.
We have a Shadow Priest in our raid, and he's pretty decent. I feel bad because he was complaining about he was expecting them to be like really busted. Like he kept hearing Shadow Priests are really good. And then like he kind of got into it, and it seems like he's doing less than he expected. Especially with like we heard that Ellie was really good, and I was like, I'm an Ellie shaman, so we were really amped going into it. And Ellie just cranks. Not only that, but I was gonna say one of the issues with Boomkin, it seems like, is not necessarily that they don't do as much damage, but if I had to guess, it seems like their mobility isn't very good at all. And it's like Ellie shaman, I'm just running around shooting lightning bolts. I'm full moving. I got the ancestral swiftness or whatever it is too. That just I'm cranking chain lightnings while moving too. Like. It feels like bullshit. I'm gonna be honest. Like compared to like other classes, I play my demo lock. If I move 2 feet, I don't like it. If I don't like have to refresh corruption or use shadow flame or whatever. The level of movement on Ellie Shaman feels unparalleled to like any other class right now to me. But I don't play every class, so it's hard for me to say. But
I mean, Ace has just said in chat, like, you know, his buddy plays a priest and he's doing far better than our fire mage. I mean, like, our fire mage, and I don't mind shouting him out. You should even go and check his YouTube channel out, even though he's a slacking fuck. He's a bit like me. Like, since Cata launched, really wound down on the amount of content going out on YouTube because we've just been playing the game. And me and him, like we do, we're playing together constantly on Sod, Mop, Cata. So neither of us have got that much time for videos. But Chunkanator, like, his damage is unreal at times. No, and I mean that seriously. I'm talking single target. He's bursting at the start of a fight to sometimes 80, 90k. And I'm not talking about on Halfus, or massive AoE. I mean, like, single target. He's stacked. He's 13 to 13 heroic. He's done pretty well on gear. He's got 4 set and all that shit. But, like, yeah, there's only one person that outbursts me as a rep paladin, and it's him as a fire mage. I've not, no one else is anywhere close. But no, I just haven't been blessed to see a good. Sorry, Han, if you're watching. But because Han plays Shadow Priest, I just haven't seen a good Shadow Priest.
I mean, if you wanted to pull up the DPS ranking, Scotty, and
sure.
a little bit, because from what I see, Mage has the highest max. It's not the top DPS. Unholy DK has that spot, but as far as max DPS goes, Mage is like 20k higher than Combat Rogue. Which
Sorry, I'm looking at 95th percentile at the moment for everything, yeah? Or did you want to look at
for 25? Well, all percentiles for 25. We can look at like whichever one.
Yeah.
95.
I've got all on at the moment, all percentiles. I mean, it don't like the thing I'll say, they're all close though, aren't they? Even when you look at all percentiles, I know you've got those outliers, like you've got the DK really far ahead, you've got the Mage like ahead of the DK, actually, when we're talking like absolute maximum potential on all percentiles. Yeah. When you look at those little dots and where they are, but then when you look at the average, like, they're all pretty close. It looks incredibly healthy, for where they've not had to make any changes.
I was thinking the same thing, and I think that's where DPS rankings can sometimes get kind of toxic, especially for people who are maybe a little bit more casual. When you're playing at a high level, obviously these things come more into account, and that's when you think, oh, we're gonna stack this class or something like that. But like if you're just like playing in like normal raids or like you're like progressing through heroics and stuff like that, it's really not the end of the world. You could definitely top the meters in a lot of like groups as a boomy. Like you could do it if you know what you're doing. It was the same thing.
Frost Mage is doing though, Casey. Like, look at the Frost,
don't be a Frost Mage.
The Frost Mage bar makes me laugh. I don't even know what that means.
Well, some of them aren't even trying.
There's only 28 parses for Frost Mage, so yeah.
Well, you know what it is some guilds are running Frost Mages to like kite ads on fights. So that's why their damage is probably so low, is that they're literally just like there to like kite ads a Maloriak or something like that,
The funny thing is, right, so I'm like really good friends with Majay. Majay's an enhancement shaman. He makes really good enhancement shaman videos. He's been on the podcast. I've been on other podcasts with him. Obviously, we talk to each other pretty much every day. But he was getting shit in his comments, and it was hilarious. Like, I was there for it because he's like, "Yep, got rank one enhancement shaman on this boss, that, and then when you look, there's 2 people. he's passing against one other person. But like enhancement is like there was a point to that. It shocked me because enhancement is actually like doing well. I need to skip through these. When you actually look at sort of the 95th percentile, enhancement being sort of middle of the pack, Jay was saying all along, like, I'm griefing by being enhancement, but I want to play enhancement because it's what I enjoy, but he was going to go Unholy DK, or he was going to go Arms Warrior, or he was going to go, he felt like he was griefing as enhancement. But there's fights where he's on top. It's fucking, like, absolutely pumping. And when you look at middle of the pack on the 95th percentile, that kind of rules out a lot of classes. If you was to say, like, well, I'm not taking anyone who's middle of the pack. If enhancement is middle of the pack, then you're in a pretty good place overall. Ret 95th percentile was below enhancement, and I think Ret pumps.
Ret slaps, dude.
I was gonna say the other argument with the tank thing, when you bring a prop pally, if he ever gets to DPS on a fight, like Atromedes, for example, like Ret's crank on that fight. Yeah, he's topping our meters. He doesn't even play Ret. So definitely they can crank.
It makes me a bit sad seeing Feral as well. I've not seen that many good Ferals when I think about
I was
it.
surprised by that.
I've seen groups bring a feral to have, I guess, the druid buffs and stuff like the reses and whatnot, instead of having like a resto or boomkin. I feel like people are leaning towards feral.
I've seen an average Feral being fake J. I've seen an average Feral, but you know, like where that Feral that's in and absolutely slaps. You know, like it's coming. It's coming. Bit more mastery.
So I don't know. So is feral? Are there two different feral specs for like DPS and tank, or is it literally the same spec?
No, there's two different specs.
So like when these people are feral DPS, do you think that like most of them are tanks? Are there any people who legit just play feral DPS?
Well,
I haven't seen any of those. They're always a tank.
Yeah, so I run a hybrid spec, so I can tank and DPS, and the only thing I lose is the ability to power shift, which, well, when I say power shift, bear weave, which I just wouldn't do anyway, and I have a 50-second interrupt instead of a 10-second interrupt. So, like, my hybrid spec where I can tank and DPS, you could say I'm a full DPS.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I mean, my feral slaps. Like, you know, I can, if I'm not having to raid lead and shit, like I can finish top 3, and I have on like numerous bosses where I can just sit there and actually play. But I just haven't seen. I was expecting some ferals to be doing some special things that just ain't happening yet. But like ferals are going to scale very, very well throughout Cata. Like I 100%. Like yeah, you'll see. I'm not saying they're going to be top, you know, by the end of Dragon Soul or anything like that, but they're going to be pumping far harder than they are now, and they don't need assistance. They're not going to need any hot fixes or anything.
Well, Scotty looks
he
like
can jump in. Yeah,
down.
Yeah, just get him in.
All
Yeah,
right.
get him to jump in.
So if you want to get the exciting game ready that I have prepared for us for tonight.
Oh yeah, that.
So I've been watching a lot of. Well, I always watch the Arena World Champion, the AWC, on like retail arena tournaments, and this weekend they're doing a Cata tournament, and they've got this part of the tournament where in between series they do a tooltip thing where they blur out half of the tooltip, and they have the host of the show, the commentators like Venruki, Supatiz, Zico, try to guess what the tooltip is. So I created 3 of them. I was just going to be super lazy and copy pasta the ones from the show, but I didn't want anybody that might be on the show with us today to have watched the tournament and know the answers ahead of time. So I created 3 new ones for us to do here. Subtle, thanks for joining us. Hopefully you caught a little bit of that, what we're going to get into here.
Hey, really glad to be back. Thanks for having me. Excited.
My favorite tank has returned.
I'm here. Thank you so much, dude. I've had so much fun on here the last couple of times. I'm excited.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's great for you to be back.
This game is going to be the funnest thing you've ever done. I promise you.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
It's going to be almost as good as these segues are.
I didn't have any segues prepared today. I spent too much time creating these, so.
Sometimes you just gotta wing it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the first one on, so I mean, we don't stand on ceremony. We'll obviously get to having a little chat with Subtle in a sec, but let's crack on with the game.
Do you two happen to have like the YouTube or Kick stream up? I'm
looking on it right now.
Yeah, I got the YouTube one up.
Okay, all right. I was like, I can post it in our chat if you guys needed. But we have a little tooltip here, so chat, get in your guesses as well. See if you can figure out what this tooltip means. So Scotty got a little bit of advanced notice. He got to look at them. So Scotty, maybe try to not help him out too much. But Subtle, Casey, can you guys tell me what this tooltip is?
I mean, I'm not a healer. I think it's Riptide, but I'm not a healer. So
that was my guess, and I'm gonna be sad if I'm wrong because I play a shaman. But yeah, I would say Riptide as well.
My guess would my guess would be I won £670 on the Italy Albania game. Wait, that is definitely not what you was asking.
Nice.
Sorry, carry on.
I guess we started off with an easy one here, so hopefully the other 2 are a little bit more difficult. So yeah, this one was not Holy Shock, not Regrowth, not Prayer of Mending. It absolutely was Riptide. So
That's relieving. Yeah, I thought I was going to get that wrong.
Scotty,
We're not guessing the text, are we? Do I have to guess the text?
yeah, we need every single blur. We need the exact.
No chance.
No. I did send him like an answer, a reveal one, if you want to have the actual tooltip up there to show what all that blurred stuff is.
I'm putting the next one on. We're going on to the next one. We don't need to see what it says.
Speed run these.
Yeah, speed run them.
These next two are a little bit more tricky. I think I tested this with Nest, and he got this Riptide one right. Scotty got the Riptide one right. But the next two, one got one right, one got the other one right. So hopefully this one's a little bit more difficult, a little bit more challenging. I threw a little curveball in here.
Well, I don't think it's Thunderstorm, and I don't think it's. I want to say Typhoon, but I feel like it says level 85. So
yeah, ignore that. Ignore that. I've already called him out on that. Ignore the level that it says.
Okay. I would say Typhoon then. That sounds like a Typhoon description.
Subtle, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm thinking Typhoon.
All right, we got a couple Typhoons in the chat. We got Agent L with Blast Wave.
I'd be with Agent L. That was I DM'd you. That was exactly what I said it was. I've not looked at the answers, so I genuinely haven't. Okay. I swear I haven't. I could be wrong as well.
Oh, Chunk looking at the target location part of the tooltip.
That again, and the slow by 70%. That is exactly why I would say Blast Wave. Typhoon is fired out in front of you. Piercing Hail is around you. Thunderstorm is around you. Blast Wave is the only one that is at a location.
Typhoon's
is it now? I haven't played Mage in a long time. I thought it was just like AoE from you.
No. It's like Flame Strike now. Yeah, it's like Flame Strike. You put it where you want it.
Well, there you go.
Scotty is correct. It is Blast Wave. It is not Typhoon.
And the last one.
Cooldown. The cooldown is what would have given it for me if I would have seen this, because Typhoon's a 20-second cooldown.
That's what did for me for Thunderstorm, because I was like, that's 40 seconds, 45 or something with the glyph.
All right. Did you get the...
Man, this one's getting tough, huh?
Yeah. I was gonna do like boss abilities, and I was like, that's probably gonna be pretty toxic if I tried that. So
I'm gonna say nothing on this one because I got this wrong, and it was only when I really looked at it then I got it right, so it don't count. So I got this wrong, so I'm gonna sit this one out.
I would say raise ally.
Yeah,
because I think the 20% are the mana and health when you're rezzed.
Yeah.
Dang. So Scotty was the only nub that didn't get this one right.
Again, like I said before we started, as soon as I actually looked at the percentages, I was like, 20% health and 20% mana.
Yeah. What was it? Nest got the other one wrong. The Typhoon one wrong. I think he said Typhoon, but he got this one right.
The Balance Druid Nest got Typhoon wrong.
Yeah.
That's awkward.
He was so confident too. I was
saying, I can't remember the last time I read a tooltip. I feel like I just I know what that ability does. Throw it on my bar, so it's been a while. But
I mean, raise ally on my DK. If someone asks for a res, I'll be like, I've not trained that yet. I'm not pressing that shit.
Is it? It's like a boatload of runic power too. Like I'm not doing that.
50 runic power, yeah. Unless maybe there's a talent that reduces it, but yeah, baseline it looked like 50 runic power. It's like, damn.
Yep, it's quite irritating. I'm sure as Subtle knows.
Yeah, I'm usually not the one doing it because you really want like the rebirth from the druid for like the full HP. But
I've been
sometimes in dungeons.
I've seen druids like B-res without the glyph. I'm like, what glyph do you have for a major glyph that's not like 100% health? Like, what are you guys doing?
Probably nothing. Yeah, like I probably ain't got any glyphs.
Yeah. They didn't buy it yet. Yeah. Well, Subtle, since you joined us a little bit late here, we've already gone over what we've done since launch. So if you want to catch us up, like what have you been up to? Like all the way the past like 3 weeks, like launch, how many
Wow.
tunes have you leveled up? Yeah, I know it's been a while. We gotta
I
know
mean,
what's
it
going
feels
on.
like years ago at this point.
You said you had big plans, so let's hear it. What'd you get done?
Yeah, so man, I think week 1, it's all kind of a blur, but I think week 1 I leveled 3 blood decays. It might have just been 2, but in any case, we have 3 blood decays max level and rating now. Rating on prop value as well. Working on the prot warrior. Have a raid on that tomorrow. It's not level 85 yet, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna be ready to raid. So this was the first time I ever got to do like a race for like went on a raid release, so that was really cool. Joined We Go, really good guild on Fairlina.
I like the name.
And we ended up getting like world 14th, US 6th. So we did pretty well, I think, with our amount of PTR time we had. Like we actually didn't even kill every boss on PTR. So I felt like it was a pretty good finish on live. Alec here was the only one we didn't quite get on PTR. But yeah, it was fun. I had never gotten to like log in right at 3 p.m. before going to the raid, just see how fast you can get everything done. So that was really cool. That's something like I've always wanted to do and finally got to do it, and hopefully continue to do it.
Did you guys go to Magma first? I saw some groups went there and it was bugged.
No,
and they got
no. We
behind.
went to Throne first. That seemed to be what like most people did. Throne first, and then we went to BWD. By the time we got to Magma, it was fixed. So yeah, we didn't run into any issues with that. But yeah, some of the other groups that like went there really quick. Oof, yeah, Magma was like one-shotting, I think, with Magma Spit or whatever. So, yeah. We lucked out on that. Blizzard push out fixed super quick, so wasn't too big of a deal. But yeah, I'm also doing like heroic 10 mins, progging through that with a group of friends from my old guild, and doing a split run. It's really just an alt run right now on one of the other blood decays, and then doing a GDKP on the prop alley. So just kind of trying to get as much experience on all the tanks as I can. We'll check out Feral Druid once we get the prot warrior going also. And yeah, I mean, Cata's been awesome so far. It's like everything I had hoped it would be and more, honestly. Like Bloody Cages feels awesome. It definitely gives me like Wrath prop alley vibes, just with like how good it is. And like it's just fun being OP, right? And like also like the solos you can do. Like I haven't had a ton of time to like dive into solos, but I have done some of them. Like
Me
the
too.
Kael'thas.
I did some.
Yeah, did you? I actually think I saw a video from you. Maybe Scotty, like a blue proto run.
Yeah. Yep.
Was that it?
Yeah. I can go in there and solo that in like 4 minutes, something like that. Like casually, just stealth run all the way through and kill it.
Yeah, easy. Yeah. That was a good one. Prop Eyes had a good farm for that in Wrath, but I know it always lags behind a little bit for the boomies because you don't quite have the tools that these tanks have.
He could go feral though, couldn't he? could go feral and do it a lot easier.
You're a boomy only, right? Go. You don't play feral.
I don't have
boomy for life.
I did kill. I went to Tempest Keep because I wanted to try for the Ashes of Alar. I killed Alar. I got that. I got 2 KT and had to pull a KT. I got to the phase where all the 4 generals or whatever they're called come back to life, and then they just wrecked me. But like going in there and getting that far first try, I felt pretty comfy in there.
Did you try the like cat out of the room strat at all?
No.
Okay, because like for you, that's what I would definitely recommend. Like if you're trying to do it on a boomy. So like at the beginning of the fight, basically like start the fight and then just run out of the room, and then you can use the rest of the entire Tempest Keep instance to like do the fight. You aren't confined to that one room. So like the OG strat for this on Blood Decays, this isn't really necessary, but like the OG strat was like you would go all the way to the entrance of Tempest Keep with like Thaladred. You would kill him over there, so he'd have to run a super long way to like get back to you, and then like you'd kill Sanguinar at the entrance too. You kill Capernian like closer to like KT's room. You kill Telonicus, you know, somewhere, wherever you want. And yeah, if you're trying to do this on Boomy, that's definitely what I would do, is just like really spread them out throughout the whole instance. It'll make that phase way, way easier.
Goes so hard right now. Goes got a little semi. He's about to leave. He's like, sorry guys, I need to go. Something's come up
right now.
Yeah, thanks for the tip. I'll be back.
I just love how you called it the cat out of the room strat. That sounds so like, goofy.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't know, because normally in a like boss fight, like you drag the bosses out of the room and like the fight just resets. This is like a weird exception where the door closes, but it like doesn't, you know, matter at all. And you can literally use the entire instance to do the fight if you want to.
Well, I think I saw one of your videos saying that you were 13 out of 15 in Nax, like a Nax 10, I would imagine.
Oh, yeah, solo. Yeah, so I checked that out the other day. I haven't gotten to do like as many solos as I'd like so far, but I checked that one out. Somebody told me like Patchwork and Resuvius, they were having issues on. So like, I mean, as soon as somebody tells me like they're having problems on a solo, like I immediately want to like go in there and like try to do it.
Prove them wrong. I'd be like, yeah, so, this shit's easy.
Like, yeah, like I wasn't planning on doing it at all. And then they're like, Resuvius and Patchwork, they're pretty hard right now. And I was like, all right, I guess that's what I'm doing the rest of the night. So I went in there and they are, I mean, I definitely have pretty good gear on my main Blood DK right now. So the gear definitely helps for sure. But like Patchwork is like really just about like managing your cooldown super well. Gear for sure helps on top of that. And then Resuvius is kind of the same deal. Like Resuvius hits hard, like, you know, because it's meant to be tanked by the ads on that fight. And yeah, so same deal. It's basically just use your cooldowns like perfectly and you can probably kill it. But everything in there, other than those two, everything was like pretty easy. The only thing was like Gluth, because he like eats the zombies and heals. I was like trying some strats where like I would, you know, be at max range, and so hopefully the zombies would attack me from max range from the other side and keep them away like that. But it wasn't quite working out. But eventually maybe I'll figure something out for him.
So I watched your Nef 10 heroic. Funny enough, your Alec here 10 heroic literally just popped up like as a notification while we're talking, which was weird. But yeah, I watched your Nef 10 heroic. So I assume you've done like full heroic 25 and 10.
Done full heroic 25 several times now. 10 man, I'm just doing it with that one group. We're still progging through. We have Ascending Council, Cho'Gall, and Sinestro left. We're doing, hopefully get all three of those on Monday when we go back in.
And what's your thoughts so far in terms of difficulty? I know it's very difficult to say, but like assuming, you know, an equally geared and skilled group of 25 versus an equally geared and skilled group of 10, what difficulty would you say is less forgiving or more difficult?
I mean, if everything's equal, I think in general, 25 would be a little bit easier. But the thing is, like, it's way easier to get 10 equally skilled people than it is to get 25 equally skilled people. Just like the logistics and stuff that come with 25s, I think is what makes it like a little bit harder. And also like the combat reses, I don't think are really working correctly on 25 man either. It seems to be like the retail charge system.
Yeah, that charge system's like really annoying.
Yeah, instead of like the actual Cata system. So like one of the sort of advantages you're kind of supposed to have on 25, it doesn't seem to really be working correctly.
The only thing I found more difficult is the sort of the raid cooldowns, you know, as in like the just lack of raid cooldowns in 10 man, depending on what your comp is, obviously. You know, like on Sinestro in the last phase, like for raid cooldowns for each breath, you're having to get really creative in 10 man on what cooldowns you're using on each breath. Whereas 25, it's like, we're gonna have this, we're gonna have that, we're gonna have that. You know, it kind of, that's the only thing I've found more difficult. I do genuinely think 25 man, for me personally, has felt a lot easier compared to 10. But again, I agree 100%. Like, if you add, it does come down to what you've got. Like, we absolutely have got like a really solid 10. Like, if we could multiply our 10 people that we've got in our 10 heroic group into another 15, then 25 would be face roll. But yeah, that's the only thing I've found is raid cooldowns. Actually, is the big difference for me more than anything else.
I found it pretty funny. Like our 10-man comp as well is pretty stacked. Like we got the prop pally, we got the disc priest, you know, we got the holy pally. We got like a lot of cooldowns. And then I tried to pug it with the group the other day, and it's like I called for a priest. I was like, "Can you use like barrier?" And he was like, "I'm holy, man." I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I'm looking at our other healer. He's like a resto druid. It's like, I guess we can trank. You know, it's just like we really wish that we had more mitigation for those groups, but we just had 0 cooldowns. I'm like, man, this comp sucks, dude.
Yeah, it's the pure damage reduction cooldowns where, you know, and then there's certain cooldowns that you've got that are useless. You know, like AM. Yeah, AM's great on things like Sinestra, but useless on Nefarian. You know, there's so many cooldowns that then are almost wasted. Again, like I've always said that I think 10 heroic is less forgiving. And like difficulty wise, if you've got like people who can play, I'd probably say they're fairly close. But I've really felt that. You know, I've felt a big difference between going in 25 and being like, oh man, I've got fucking like 7 or 8 cooldowns to choose from, and then being in 10 and it's like, right, we've got 2. What are we gonna do with these?
Yeah, one of the things too is like, I mean, like the crackle on 10 man, like it just does less damage, so you don't actually even, you know, need a cooldown for every single one. Like on 25 man, like you for sure want to make sure you got cooldowns for all of them. On 10 man, like, I mean, we ran like our rallying cry, our barrier, our spirit link, and then I'm just going like for the next like, you know, 5 or 6. I'm like, all right, personals.
Did you have nature res?
Yeah,
so you had a shaman.
Nature, yeah, from the shaman, the healing stream, I think also gives the resist.
That's literally all you need.
Totem now.
Yeah, as long as all 10 people have got nature res, that's like fucking 25% damage reduction anyway. Like, yeah, that's huge.
Or like, we're not doing it on heroic, but like right when Neff lands, we pop bloodlust, and it's like, let's just pump through the first 4 crackles. Like no cooldowns or anything. We don't need them. We have bloodlust. So I think that's pretty funny too.
Yeah, normal is just a whole different thing. Like it's kind of funny with like phase 1 because like you'll phase so quickly on normal in phase 1 that like the ads haven't even like fully spawned yet, and then they just like die all in the middle, and it's kind of a mess sometimes. But yeah, I mean, overall, like the difficulty level, it seems pretty similar between the two in my experience. Like some bosses maybe a little harder on one, a little easier on the other, but in general, I feel like they got the difficulty pretty well done. And I don't know if you guys saw like the stats like WoW had put out on like how many pulls per boss kill and how many, you know, total kills and things like that. But just like looking at that difficulty curve, it looks pretty much perfect to me, because it's like there's no real like, you know, fall off a cliff moment. It's just kind of like a steady decline or like a steady increase in like pulls per kill, which seems perfect to me. Like you start with some easier bosses, don't take too many pulls, and gradually like difficulty just goes up. It's not like any like crazy jump in difficulty. So I think this tier is like pretty much perfect, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. This has been the best opening tier for me in Classic. Like, no doubt. Like, hands down.
Dang. Well, there have been some changes. So if we go back to the news here, not that we're trying to break this news to everybody, but I wanted to get your guys' opinions on some of the changes that Blizzard has done so far. So we've got the Valor cap has changed to where it's kind of like the Conquest was, where it helps you if you're on like an ult or something to catch up on your Valor. You can't miss out on Valor anymore. So I was keeping up with my Valor on my main tune, but I haven't started gearing an alt yet, but I feel like if I were to try to gear up an alt, that this would be a pretty big change. So I'm in favor of it. It was weird that they both didn't have the same thing at the same time. Like once the Conquest came out, it's like, yeah, why is Valor still capped at 1,600 a week? Like, what's going on with that? So the change came a little bit late, but I'm a fan of this change. What do you think, Casey?
Definitely a good change. Like I don't think anyone would argue with it. The only annoying thing is that like you hit max and it's like now I have 6,000 Valor to go and get. You know, like that kind of sucks. But I mean, like for anyone leveling an alt, it's nice that you know you can catch up, and you also don't feel like rushed to do it. Like if you're just a casual player and you're like, oh, I want to get this guy to max so I can like be caught up. It doesn't really matter anymore. So that's kind of nice. But like I said, I just hit my demo lock to max on Monday, and it's nice knowing that I didn't have to grind all of that Valor Monday night and then have to come back on Tuesday. So no, I like it.
And Solo, you've had a couple alts that you've leveled recently. So how's that feel to hit 85 and be like, I have to do like 50 heroics now?
I love it, honestly. I love running the heroics. I just love Cata, man. Like tanking and Cata is so good. Like I can't get enough of it, and I'm able to like pull people from chat a lot of the time. So like even if like I start out like pugging, a lot of times people are like, hey, can I get in and stuff? And like one thing a lot of people don't know is you can do cross realm RDF. Like I've found a surprising amount of people don't know this, but like you literally just type in the person's like character name -- server name, and you can invite them to your group. You can queue RDF together cross realm. So like you just got to be Horde, US and Oceanic obviously together. EU are separate, so they can't queue with you. But
yeah, they added that in like mid Wrath, I remember, right?
Yeah, it was sometime in Wrath. Like I was doing it for a lot of Wrath. You can actually even do walk-in dungeons cross realm, which is kind of interesting. So like you just invite them, you know, to the group cross realm. If you guys zone into the same like Scarlet Monastery library, whatever, you're in the same instance. So it's kind of cool, like how much cross realm stuff there is. But yeah, it's been really easy to, you know, just put groups together through chat. And even when I do get the pugs, it's kind of exciting because it's just like such a roller coaster, and it is good content for sure. If I'm on a blood decay, I can usually like, you know, mostly solo the heroic, and everybody else is just kind of there to make it go quicker. But now that I'm like kind of doing prop eyes and stuff, you know, it gets a little spicier doing some of these pug heroics. But overall, yeah, this Valor change, absolutely incredible. It is such a good change, slam dunk. I like it's gonna lead to so many people like playing alts that they wouldn't have, because like you no longer feel like you're behind anymore. Like if you were leveling a new wallet, you're like, okay, I'm only gonna get like 1,600 Valor like when I first like ding, and it's gonna be like a slow grind. Now it's like however much time you want to put in, you can get that much gear. You could, before your like first raid, you could have like everything you want from Valor basically at this point. Combo that with some BOEs and some rep gear, you can enter your first raid like full 359. Like it's not too difficult to do that. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of this change, especially as somebody that is leveling lots of alts.
You know, I was saying before you joined Too Subtle is that like it feels like this raid tier is really sick. I'm enjoying it a ton. And one of my least favorite things about it is that I can't do the raids more. Like I kind of wish that there was that retail feature where I could just go back and clear the raids like just with other people, even if I don't get loot. But it is really nice that like the level from 80 to 85 is so fast. It's like if you're doing it fast, I'm sure it's like sub 10 hours. And if you're doing it slow, it's like 15. You know, it's really not bad. And then yeah, you can catch up on Valor and stuff. So it kind of feels like you should have alts at this point, you know, like at least like 2-3, and then you can just get more time in the game. So I've been really enjoying it. I'll probably level another alt eventually. But
what if you could do the raid? What if they made that change? You could do the raids, you wouldn't get loot, but you could still get Valor from the raids by re-clearing it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And so you weren't forced to do the heroics for it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think they just need to bump up the Valor from raids too. Like it feels kind of pathetic. Like the amount of Valor you get from a raid is just like silly. Like,
you should be able to cap, shouldn't you? From a full clear of raids. If you can cap from 7 heroics, you should be able to cap from a 13 normal clear.
Yeah, it's pretty wild because like I would like, intentionally not do my heroics till after I did my raids, just to minimize the amount of heroics I had to do. And I would come out of like a full clear of raids at like, I think maybe not even quite 500. I can't remember the exact number. It was like maybe 490 Valor or something like that. And I was like, what the hell? This is like 2 heroics. Like I just did the entire raid tier on heroic. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else about the Valor changes, Scotty?
No, I'm a fan of it. Like, yeah, I do like it. I like this seasonal. Yeah, just not. Obviously, I've been capping all my characters since week 1, so like it's kind of not had an impact on my life. But it's certainly like this week, I've not really done anything on my mage, and I'm kind of not that bothered that I haven't. I'm raiding on my mage tomorrow, Sunday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, I'm raiding on my mage tomorrow. But yeah, if I don't cap, like, who gives a shit? Next week, I'll just do some more heroics on it than I would have done this week. Like, it's nice to have that flexibility where it's not like I don't know, like, oh shit, it's Tuesday morning, resets in 6 hours. I need to go and do some heroics. It's like, oh, it don't matter. Like, whatever I didn't get this week, I'll get next week. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that was me one of the other weeks. Like, I dinged 85 on my character at like, 1 a.m. and like right before reset, and I was like, all right, I have to get my 1600 Valor now. Like, otherwise I just lose it permanently. And now, now you can just do it whenever. It's an amazing change.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's the best change, actually, I would say, that Blizzard have made since Classic launched. And I mean that since 2019. I think it is the best change they've ever made.
I mean, recently too, we had the Therazane shoulder enchant BOA change. That was awesome too. Supports alts as well. And these changes that they're making that are, just making alts like more appealing, I think is awesome. That just leads to more raids happening. More people like staying interested in the game because it's easier to, check out different classes and stuff.
So I'm not a fan of that enchant change. And
really?
especially because the Valor change.
I'll ban him. I'll ban him.
Well, you're going to be doing all these heroics anyways, so why?
Yeah, but you got to go and do Deep Home first.
You don't have to. Well, you don't have to really quest.
You can't get the tabard until you like finish the whole chain, though, right?
You can go out and grind mobs for rep, I think. For it.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Who wants to do that? Grow up. Get out.
No, instead of having people sit in their major city and then queue up dungeons and never go out into the world, what's the harm of people going to Deep Home, doing 50 quests, whatever it is, and
because who wants to do that? Hang on. How many characters have you done that on?
2.
Okay, and I've got
I did one.
I've got 6.
So.
How you want me to go and do that 6 times? You fucking joking?
It doesn't bother me. Like,
yeah, well, it bothers me.
Some fucking quests.
No, I don't want to go and do quests.
The enchant's not game breaking. If you show up to a raid without a shoulder enchant, it's not gonna be like, oh no, we can't bring this guy. He doesn't have shoulder enchant. He doesn't have Therazane enchant yet.
Yeah, but why would you not though? Like what? So what's your argument for? Like, you want to see people in the open world, or should we say in Deep Home? You just want to see more people in Deep Home. Is that your issue with this?
Deep Home specifically, yes, and Bashir, but that's a whole nother topic.
Oh, Casey, sorry, Mum and Dad are fighting again. So you want to see more people in Deep Home specifically? You're not bothered about anywhere else in the world. You just want more people in Deep Home.
No, I want them out everywhere. Yeah, I go out and I fish and I don't see anybody.
Yeah, but that's not helping with the Therazane shoulder enchant, is it?
Well,
I want to see less people in Deep Home because people are doing this trog boosting thing and it's laggy as hell when you go there. I don't know about you guys, but my Deep Home has been horrible on Fairlena. But
it's not great on Fairlena, yeah. One thing about the shoulder enchant too, like sure, like the 30 stam difference or whatever isn't like game breaking, but
yeah.
Like just having your character with like all the enchants is like kind of the most basic thing you can do for your character. So it just feels like terrible. Like if you can't even like meet that requirement, I think. Like to me, I don't know. Like I like to min max and stuff, but I think a lot of people kind of feel the same way. Where like if they're not even gonna be able to get like the most basic enchants on their character, like they might not even want to like make that character in the first place. Like if I can't even have like a shoulder enchant on my character, like I'm a lot less likely to even level that alt or whatever.
All right, so hear me out. So I'll concede a little bit. It's not good for people that came to Cata and this is their first tune. They just leveled it up and they have to do it, and then they level up their alt. But most people came into Cata after playing Wrath. You already have a BOA shoulder enchant. The difference between your Sons of Hodir shoulder enchant and Therazane enchant is like 5 stats. So go to fucking Wrath, go to whatever the zone is.
You're talking about the honored one?
Storm,
like the low end one?
Yeah. Get the one. No, not even that. Like, get the one from Wrath.
Yeah, but why?
Yeah, but like the Sons of Hodir, like Exalted Wrath one it's like close to the honored, like Therazane one, right? But
yeah, so at least you have a shoulder enchant.
Yeah, like you can get the shoulder enchant, but like it just feels so bad to like not even have the right enchants on your gear. I don't know.
Well, that can bring us to one of the other.
Oh, I really want to talk about this more. Why go?
I know you do.
Why? I don't understand why you're arguing against this. I need to understand the logic. Without understanding the logic, I'm not going to be able to move on, and we're going to be talking about this all night.
All right, make the tabard BOA. So remove the restriction of.
Okay, so you can do it from neutral.
Honored. Yeah, so you can do it from neutral.
I'd get on that as a happy medium, but do you know what I'd prefer?
Okay. You prefer there was just BOA.
I prefer there were BOA, so I only have to do them once, and that's all, and then that's it. Yeah.
Well, I like trying to find like a middle ground, so at least we came to terms a little bit.
Yeah.
The tabard being BOA is not going to get people into the open world, though.
I know.
The tabard into dungeons.
Yeah, Go don't know what he wants. Go's just trying to be on the opposition for no reason whatsoever.
I don't want a handout. I don't want to get a tune up to level 85 and it's like, oh yeah, I've already got all this player power that my other character just sent to me. I don't know how much I like that.
All right, I'm gonna wait till there's something that you like, and I'm just gonna be an absolute knob about it as well. So go on, let's move on.
The next news thing I had was that the Dark Moon Fair every 2 weeks instead of monthly, which they moved Dark Moon Fair up. I think it was like 1 week, so there was a 5-week gap after the first Dark Moon Fair, and now is it this weekend?
It's tomorrow, yeah, literally tomorrow, yeah.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Normally we start with a guess, but Go, what do you think about this?
Well, the only reason that I gave a fuck about Dark Moon Fair was for the volcano deck, which I already have. So this change, I don't care either way. It could be every 2 months. I haven't gone to the fairgrounds. Like there's nothing for me there. So cool. It's every.
I was just checking.
Don't you want to be out in the world, Go?
Fucking hell, I'm going to Dark Moon Fair tomorrow. I'm sitting in Dark Moon Fair.
Questing and fishing all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna fish.
I'm with you. What is everyone's so excited for Dark Moon Fair? I keep hearing it. They're like Dark Moon Fair every 2 weeks. Does that change anything? Like, I know you can get the cards earlier because Scotty said that he got his deck for 12K. So I guess that's cool sometimes, but like it doesn't change anything for me. I don't know.
You can get the profession quest to get like 5 skill points for like free for a profession. So I guess
and
that's
fishing
cool.
And quick like tokens more often to be able to get the dancing bear mount. There's a lot of sort of cosmetic novelty type reasons why it's good, but let's face it, the reason they're doing it is for decks, like mainly. You would have thought like the reason it was more frequent in Season of Discovery was for the buffs. You know, for world buffs, that was the sole reason of doing it. The reason in Cata, I'm saying it like it's a fact. Like I don't know. I just feel like if I was the devs, the only reason I could think of doing it more frequently is just so people can hand their decks in to get trinkets, so it's less punishing for, you know, like someone starts the game and they're like, oh my god, this volcano deck is meant to be BIS. Like, I'll quickly buy 100,000 gold off G2G and then I'll buy this deck off the auction house. Like, where are they going to hand it in? You know?
Yeah. I mean, in Wrath, like, as you know, I use the Dark Moon card Greatness a lot, like on my prop eyes and all my tanks, really. And it just kind of felt bad when, like, you know, Dark Moon Fair wasn't around and I had to wait a little while because obviously prices were like higher when, you know, the fair wasn't there. And definitely feels kind of nice, I think, to cycle through that a little bit quicker, especially with like the fair being like way more fleshed out now with the whole like island and everything.
So I'll ask a question to all three of you. Is there any reason for it to ever go?
Yeah, I know. It's like, why still have a limit on it? Like, just leave it up there, full access.
Yeah, I was
Probably
I was
not.
thinking the same thing, but like, it feels like they want it to be like an event that people like look forward to, but they're only looking forward to it for the cards. So it's like maybe we just need a better event. Like I don't know, something with like actual stuff to do other than just trading your cards.
Yeah, I only just thought about that then. I was like, well, hang on, like on the basis that it's not really, you're not. It's not like this week we can pass because we're getting a world buff, or whatever. Like on the basis there's none of that, and it is a fully instanced area with, the ability to do like the arena thing that's actually going to give a fucking insane DK tanking trinket, as you'll probably already know, subtle eventually. Why not? Yeah, why not just have it there all the time?
Yeah, I think you could. At this point, it might be a little antiquated. On retail, is it always there? I think it might be, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I'd literally be guessing.
Right.
I don't know.
I didn't know what existed in retail, honestly.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I think it does. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah.
The next news topic was Bared and Hold. Blizzard couldn't figure out how to separate the lockout, so they announced it as a change, and you can now do 10 and 25 Bared and Hold each lockout. So I'm a fan of this one.
Don't
So,
disrespect
Scotty,
the devs
tell
like
me
that.
why I'm shit.
I'm not going to tell you shit. Like, I don't like you disrespecting the devs like that. Are you telling me?
Yeah.
Are you telling me that they put something out without announcing that they was making a change, and then they realised that they'd fucked up, and then announced it as a change and took it as a win? Is that what you're actually trying to tell me?
Something that they didn't allow beta testers to test first to see how the lockout was going to work. Yeah, I'm saying that they done fucked up.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, that's exactly what I think they done. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
no, yeah, I fully agree. I think they was like, shit, people are doing 10 and 25. How have we done that? And then Agram was like, tell them we done that intentionally because it's a shorter cadence.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, fucking brilliant idea. We'll get that blue post typed up and we'll make it look like Zach typed it.
I know people were freaking out. They were like, dude, don't do both lockouts. You're going to get banned. Like, you're not cool. That's not intended.
Riggs,
and I sat back.
I want Riggs in chat. Go, Riggs, please tell me you're here. Because we, all three of you, but probably maybe more Subtle, because I know Subtle's been doing a shitload of raiding. Have you had lockout problems? Where you've had, like, if you've gone in with bosses alive, then you've had to go out and reset 20,000 times and, like, funky shit?
Yeah, first week, I think, in our heroic 10-man, so we cleared, like, I think 5 out of 6 BWD or something like that. And we tried to zone back into BWD, and Atramedes, Chimeron, and Maloriak were suddenly alive again.
Exactly what we had. Those exact 3 bosses, that exact situation. We cleared 5 of 6, then went back, those 3 was alive. And when I was like, right, let's kill, Riggs was like, well, I'm not taking any loot because I don't want to get banned. I was like, well, I'll take it all. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's always a weird one because, like, I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, you're going in there to, like, kill the final boss, and you have to kill those bosses again. I mean, I'm not really sure what the official, like, Blizzard stance on it is. Like, are you supposed to let the loot just sit there and rot, or? But yeah,
we've had it. We had it twice. So we've had only Chimeron pop up as well. So we'd cleared 5 of 6. No, actually, I think for some reason we'd only cleared like 4 of 6 or something. And then we went in and we killed Atramedes heroic, and then was like stood like, where's the orb? Where's the orb to, like, start Nev? And there was no orb, so a rogue went and stealthed and was like, Chimeron's back up again. But it's just now the bosses just keep randomly popping up, so you can kill them several times in a week. We need to work out why that's happening so we can actually abuse it. At least get banned for a worthy cause.
I was gonna say that's
sure.
crazy that you can get punished for that. You know, like it's like it's not exactly your fault. I obviously, if you're abusing it, you killed them 6 times throughout the week. Yeah, maybe. But like if they're just there, it feels like they kind of just expect that players know it's a bug. Like I can't imagine if you're like new to the game or something that you're coming into the raid and like you're just like, oh wow, these guys are back up. Let me kill them, and then you get banned or something. It'd be crazy. But maybe
well, I was with Zambi on Thursday, and yeah, it was a 5 of 6 clear, and we walked in on Thursday, and yeah, Chimeron, Maloriak, Atramides were up, but we did then we took the one guy that couldn't get in, we took his lock out, and then ended up with 5 of 6 again. So we didn't actually kill those 3 bosses again.
Weird.
Which I was really annoyed about because obviously, yeah, I'd rather just killed the 3 bosses again and got the loot. But
Yeah, it's been weird though, and kind of back to the Baird and Hold thing. I think was where we started.
Yeah, I was trying to bring us back, but thank you.
Sorry,
honestly, I've just kind of stopped doing Baird and Hold because like it seems like there's an 80+% chance of like PvP gear dropping, so there's almost like no tier even dropping. And these groups have been so bad. Like I've had several groups where it takes, like 30 minutes to get the group fully together. Either right before you're about to finish filling, everybody suddenly just like leaves, like they've had enough. It's taken too long. Or you pull the boss, you have like a 10% wipe, whatever, and then everybody leaves after one wipe. And it's like, I've just wasted so much time like trying to do Baird and Hold and like knowing that it's probably just going to be PvP gear anyway. And also with this Valor change where, getting the gloves and legs is no problem now. You have so much Valor. I'm just completely done. I'm out on Baird and Hold. I'm boycotting it.
Oh, I'm with Subtle.
Even if,
I haven't seen PvE gear drop yet. I just want to put it out there. I've done it on 4 characters, 5 characters actually. For what is this the second reset? It's the second so 2 resets.
I think so.
And yeah. I've not seen a PvE piece of gear, but I did get a sick PvP trinket for my druid. But yeah, it seems a very low chance of PvE gear from what I've personally.
And even if it does drop, it's not going to be yours. It's
of course
going to be the warlock who's not in the raid. So yeah, it's not worth it, especially with the Valor cap, like you said. When that was raised, you can get it so easily.
Oh, Shock just said he's seen 1 piece, and I know he's been doing it for the last 2 weeks on 2 characters. So, like, yeah. Nothing but PvP gear, Anthony.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I think it's good that it is 10 and 25 and that they just left it alone. Like, cool.
I think they should just look at the drops. I do feel like there's something slightly wrong. I feel like it should be like it should almost be algorithmic, like coded that it should be 50-50. Like it can never go one way or the other. It's like here's a couple of bits of PvE, couple of bits of PvP, done. Not like
it isn't a PvP zone. It makes sense that PvP gear would drop more than PvE.
Okay, well, if you said 75-25, I don't give a shit, but at least one bit of PvE gear should drop every time.
Yeah, not 50-50 though.
All right.
I had to stop you there.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm going to stop you soon when we talk about something. Don't worry. I'm just waiting for the right time.
Another PvP change is honor got doubled. I got completely honor capped, like 4K honor in about 3.5 hours while I was gearing up my PvP set. So that was pretty cool. I was losing a bunch of matches. I got Strand of the Ancients more times than I could count. I put in a bug report for that. I did my job, and I know it's pretty random, but I was fucking pissed. I was like, 3 out of my first 4 BGs, random BGs, were Strand. I was like, this is wrong. Like, this sucks. But yeah, it wasn't too difficult to get 4K honor. Have you guys been PvPing after this change or even before the change? Because it didn't take terribly long even before the change to get that much honor, to at least get like 1 piece. If you logged on for a play session, did a couple BGs, you could be like, oh, okay, I went away with this with my 2-piece set. It felt pretty good, but now it's pretty sick.
So
I
Casey,
haven't been doing any PvP at all. I'm just full PvE Andy these days. Back in OG Cat, I was like all in on PvP. I was like I was an arena rogue like the majority of the time I played WoW, but then with Classic I got really into tanking, and yeah, I'm just full PvE Andy now. I haven't done a single BG in Cata.
I'm pretty much the same way, but I like how PvP. I mean, for me anyway, it can feel pretty casual. So I mean, any honor change to get honor faster is like kind of nice. Like I can just hop in. I honestly I like blinked twice and I was honor cap. Like you said, it was just like it happened really fast. So I mean, I'm already like I have a full PvP set now, pretty much, which is nice because I mean I do arenas like I said pretty casually with my buddies, and no, like it's nice having a little bit of resilience so I don't die immediately. But no, I don't do too much PvP.
And I completely disagree with whatever you said, and I can't even remember what you said. But I completely disagree. But I've only been doing conquest, like arena, arena. Well, arena and Tol Barra, to be fair. Like literally, that's it. Have I done any BGs? I think I did have one drunken night in BGs with me, Majay, and Chunk, and it was actually quite fun. But I weren't doing it for honor. I was just doing it for fun. But even though I was having fun, I still felt like whatever you said was wrong.
Fair enough. The next change is not too game breaking, I don't think. The nitro boost will always increase your speed.
That's huge. No, I'm not disagreeing for fun. That is huge. no, genuinely, that is huge. Like, yeah, really good.
At the launch, it could backfire and you wouldn't get the increase. You would just get the backfire damage. So they changed it to where even if it backfires now, you'll still at least be able to boot across the map. I haven't put them on my boots because isn't it like 80% of your max health that it ticks away or something? Like I'm too scared to use it, even though it is guaranteed to have the increase.
It's over 8 seconds, so it's like pretty easy to deal with.
My one thing that I've not got used to yet though is like I nearly died in Tol Barad earlier. Like not the actual. I was just doing dailies because I'm like getting my second trinket. And I used them and was running along and then looked at my health and was like, shit, why am I nearly dead? Like normally you press them, they overload, you don't get the speed, so shit, right, I need to heal. But when you do get the speed, obviously I've played private servers and shit so much that, you just instantly know, right, I've not got the speed, I need to do something. When you do get the speed, but it also overloads, it can be like a little bit confusing for my small brain.
Yeah, I just have a weak aura for fuel leak like tracking. It just pops up like a big glowy icon when I have fuel leak, so I can see it immediately, react to it. But this changes a huge buff to engineering, because like before when you pressed rocket boot, you had that uncertainty that maybe you weren't going to get that speed boost. So like in the back of your mind, you always had to have like an additional plan on like how you were gonna deal with whatever you're trying to boot for. But now having this guaranteed speed boost it just like sends engineering through the roof. Like I think it was already pretty much required, but with guaranteed speed boost, it's absolutely required profession now.
Yeah, and I need to set a fuel leak weaker up. Thanks for reminding me, so yeah, good idea.
I don't even use the boots right now because I didn't know about this change until you sent the notes, actually. So I felt the same way, where it's just like if they're not reliable, I almost don't even want to use it, because it's like half the time it's just gonna basically kill me. And in 10-man, if you lose one person, it's basically a wipe. And then like the other half of the time it's like reliable, but it's like I would just rather play around it. But now, like, yeah, if you're gonna take the damage, you can at least plan for it, and it'll be fine. We did have our tank die one time on Nazir. That was kind of funny. From the boots, I guess the healer was like mid swap or something, and he died. But aside from that, no, we haven't had any problems with it. So definitely a good change.
Yeah, seems risky
also,
for Prague.
Why does it even exist? Like, why do they have the chance to malfunction? Is it like a way to balance engineering versus other professions? I don't know. It just seems
that was the idea, yeah. But
it's a weird balance change to randomly kill you.
Yeah, I mean, do you know about like the belt backfires too? Like the absorb belt backfire?
No.
Okay. Yeah, those ones are like ridiculous. Like one of them is like a 5-second stun. One of them like increases your chance to be crit by 100%. One of them taunts everything around you. So like it just makes like the absorb like belt
unusable,
effect, like, pretty useless. Yeah, but also it just it takes the same slot as the Nitro anyway, so you wouldn't really want to. But even for like the limited use the Absorb might have, it's like the backfires are so bad it kind of just makes it unusable.
All right. Well, the next. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, all things considered, like mobility is like the number one most important thing in pretty much every game. So like being able to have that cooldown is just a necessity. It feels like so.
But the next two topics, I guess, were the esports events. We had the Dragon Slayer Challenge. Did anybody tune into that? The 10-man versus 10-man, none of the above versus Progress, tier 11 full clear.
I totally forgot it was happening. I meant to like watch it, but I completely spaced it. And then like later that night in chat, people were like, "Hey, did you watch Dragon Slayer earlier?" And I was like, "Oh, forgot about that." But I mean, I love Progress, love Noda. They're always super fun to watch. They come up with, you know, awesome strats and everything. So I went back later, kind of skimmed through the VOD, and it was cool to see. I did think Progress was going to take it, so I was kind of surprised Noda did, but mainly just because Noda had like stopped doing like competitive rating in Cata, but I think everybody who was in their group was part of like a world first race team anyway. So definitely a really experienced group, and it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty quick too. Like if you weren't there at the start of the stream, yeah, you almost missed it, even if you were trying to like watch it and tune in.
Was it heroic, like a full heroic layer?
It was normal.
It was normal.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so-
Yeah.
They had
It was like under geared, like so they had like low eye level, and they were just speed running normal. It was kind of a weird event, but yeah, I mean,
yeah. They
yeah,
did it
I
kind of
don't
like
know.
Nax in Wrath. They had the Nax Undying Challenge where they did the same thing where they had one night of like one world tour of heroics, and then you got whatever gear you got from there, and then they went in the next day and raced through. And they were doing like trash skips. They were doing, I think they had the same path. Like I think they had to go in the raids in the same order, but their comps were a little bit different. I saw. I mean, I don't know what specs they are, but Progress had a DK, Priest, 2 Pallies, Mage, Lock, Warrior, Druid, Shaman, and Hunter. And then Noda had Druid, DK, Pala, Priest, Shaman, Warrior, another DK, Hunter, Lock, Mage. But yeah, it was like an hour and a half, I think, total, like from the beginning of the broadcast with like a little intro, and then like the post discussion was like half an hour. So like they went in there full cleared, probably like 45 minutes or something. I think Progress might have wiped once or twice. They like Noda popped like Lust on a trash pack and like didn't have it for the boss fight, but it was just more beneficial to go in there and pull a big group of trash, pop Lust, and then that kind of set them ahead for the tourney there. But yeah, it was cool event. And then the other event is the one that is going on this weekend. So the Cata Arena tournament. Has anybody checked that out at all? No, just me. Oh my gosh, guys! Oh my gosh! I just love esports, man. I go back to like MLG days, and I love watching it, even if it's retail. But since it's Cata and I'm playing it, I'm like, oh hell yeah! Oh yeah, it was Crix and Sarth and a retail player Rook, I think, that casted the Dragon Slayer race. But it's the retail commentators for Arena that are still doing the Cata tournament. So it's Supatiz, Vinruki, Zico, and Aya. So I mean, I've been tuning into that. They had the EU semifinals or whatever yesterday. They had the NA today, and then it's the championship Sunday tomorrow.
Anyone we know in these?
I don't think so. I mean, there's some like OG players, so like you might know some names. Like Liquid is in there, so like Sea-Doo, and I think Mez is on his team. Yeah, Sea-Doo, Mez, and Trill. WizK is playing Absturge, like the move, if you know them.
Is Danny
There's a
DeVito
lot
and
of new
Chunk in
people.
there by any chance? No.
No.
No. Okay.
Ugly Bald Baby. Shout out Ugly Bald Baby on
Oh,
Team Vindictive.
that's Chunk, son.
Chanimal, Cubsy, and Snuts is a team. So like it's bringing me back to like the OG Cata days. Like these guys were doing arena back then, so it's cool to see them going back.
What
in the arena
about
again,
these
a second time.
Maelstrom crystals then?
I'm trying to do like everything Cata, man.
You're doing well. No, you're doing well. You're doing well. But know your audience,
No one gives a fuck
and
about esports,
these
I
three
know.
guys here don't give a shit.
I'm over here like, yes, this is the esports section. Fuck yeah.
I must admit, I would have liked to have watched the Dragon Slayer event, but yeah, I saw it announced and was like, oh yeah, that would be cool. But then just didn't watch it. Yeah.
All right. Well, one more thing about the arena tournament. It's a lot of resto shaman. There's a couple priests trying it out. There's 0 resto druids. There's a couple holy pallies, but the CC on the holy pally, it's like a lot of these games are 30, 45 seconds. You know, you run through the trinket, you run through the bubble, and then the next setup, the next CC chain, one of the DPS is dead. The healer just gets CC'd, but it seems like shaman, holy or resto shaman have more buttons to press to help survive without their trinket and stuff. So now
And just
we can
purge
move
is
on.
insane.
Yeah, yeah. Purge, grounding totem, yeah. Ghost wolf. Yeah, the maelstrom crystal. Go ahead, Scotty.
What?
Should maelstrom crystals have been easier to get? Should they still be easier to get? Like
No.
The power torrent, a big enchant. The 20 stats to chest, big enchant. There's bracer enchants, like you name it, that cost maelstrom crystals. And on launch, it was like, do you want to really spend 20, 30, 50K on like a 20 stat enchant for your chest on a 359 piece? Some people did, but we were taking that secondary stat. At least I was taking like the 15 stam. I was like, that's cheap as fuck. I'll just get that. But you guys earlier were like, oh no, we need our best fucking shoulder enchant. So Scotty, you better have gone in there with full maelstrom enchants week 1.
No, our raid just made a conscious decision that we will put power torrent and landslide on best weapons. I mean, I was quite fortunate. I did actually have landslide on Zimrock. But yeah, no, we weren't putting them on anything that weren't best, but we did put it on Zimrock because we didn't expect it to get replaced in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so. No, because it's slowly going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper over time. It's the same as what it was in fucking TBC with void crystals. You know, the first few weeks are pretty rough when there's not that many epics being DE'd. Wrath, not quite as rough because, you know, there's so many epics that dropped in heroic dungeons from last bosses that, you know, would get DE'd. Cata's like slightly unique there in the fact that there is no epics that come from heroics, whereas even in TBC, the last bosses dropped epics, but normally those epics were actually really sought after and didn't get DE'd anyway. Do I think it needs changing? In my opinion, no. Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep anything, but I just I kind of feel like it's something that just sorts itself out over time.
Yeah, I think at this point it's not really a big deal because like we are starting to enter that point where there's gonna be lots of crystals like hitting the market. Like it definitely felt bad like early on though, when like the 75 stam to chest enchant, for example, like versus the 55 stam. Like the fact that I can't remember the price, it might be like 15K or something for the 75 stam. Like it was just kind of absurd. Like that feels kind of bad. For something like power torrent to be expensive, like I mean, I think that's all right. Like it's a huge weapon enchant, but it just kind of this boring, bland, like, you know, a little bit higher stam enchant being like so expensive that to me it felt kind of bad. But at this point, like we are entering the era of like lots of things like starting to get DE'd. So like even on 25 man, like starting to see some stuff get DE'd now, just because there's so much loot dropping on like 25 heroic. So the prices should be tanking here soon.
We had three fucking trinkets from Chimeron. 3. Like,
yeah.
unbelievable.
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw
we
that in
had-
a pub the other day. Oh, sorry. But the bell off of Atramedes, yeah, there's just 3 heroic trinkets dropped. I'm like, damn. Yeah, I
Yes,
got
that's what I was gonna say. That's what we got at our raid the other day. It was just 3 bells. Right before that, we got 2 of the Heart of Rage from
Heart of
Cameron,
Rage,
and
yeah.
it was just like 5 trinkets in the span of like 10 minutes. It was awesome.
It is great. Like the amount of loot you get on 25 is disgusting. Like it feels good. Like, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think 10 man could do with having like 1 extra item per boss drop or something. You know.
I agree. It almost makes me want to run 25 mans more because like I've done multiple lockouts now and I've gotten like 3 items, which is like it's cool, you know. But it's just definitely it feels like when you're doing 3 different raids each week, you know, you gotta hope that you get a little bit more loot. But I mean, we got so many weeks to run the raid. Maybe it's better that you don't get geared immediately. But
Oh yeah, there is
it's
that.
good for like 25 man to like have that incentive though, that like you can get geared quicker. Because like the logistics of like setting up a 25 man raid, like it's a lot more effort put in to make a 25 man raid happen than a 10 man. So I think there has to be like some loot incentive there to like
that's
make
fair,
25
actually.
man raids happen.
Yeah, no, that is fair, and I do actually agree with that. Yeah. But please give me more loot on 10. I mean, I still agree. I still agree with you, but please, can I have more loot when I'm doing 10 man?
Yeah, just 1 more instead of 2. Give us 3 pieces.
Yeah, but there should be an incentive to encourage people to do 25, because otherwise, why the fuck would anyone bother? At the end of the day, like, yeah, if you could get geared up in 10 man equally quick and you was getting showered with loot, yeah, no one would bother.
The thing that I didn't like was on the beta, we were teased with Maelstrom crystals on like the Justice Point vendor, the Honor vendor, and then when it went live, that got removed, and I was like, well, fuck, because it was almost like full honor cap to get 1 crystal, and I thought that would have been great. Like that would have encouraged me to do a lot more BGs the first 2 weeks.
Well, go and do arenas.
More heroics. Oh, I do arenas, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what me and Chunk do. So me and Chunk do 2s together, and then Chunk DEs all his gloves. He just buys the Conquest gloves and DEs them.
There you go. And then you could like trash farm the raid. You could do like a 10-man trash farm, DE the epics that people don't need.
I mean, I carry him. Sorry, Go. I carry him in the arena, and I don't see any gold for these crystals that he's getting. By the way, I'm trying to put that out there. He's not once gone, thanks for carrying me while I'm laid here dead and you're 2v1 in. Like, thanks for that, but I've just made 12k. Like, here, have 2k of it. Like, not even a token bit of gold. Like, but whatever.
All right, we got boss difficulties and strats. So I think a lot of people have made videos on like this boss is the hardest boss. No, this boss is the hardest one. I haven't done full heroic yet, so I don't even remember the boss's names. I've been terrible with trying to remember like what boss fight is what named boss. And then I know everybody has different strats on boss fights too. So any particular bosses that you guys feel is harder than the rest, and any strats that you guys have for those bosses that you might use. And then if there's different strats from different of you guys, then let's nail it out. Like Neff, we're doing Neff tonight. I know a lot of people do that fight differently. We don't have a hunter. I've heard that's kind of going to be difficult to get. Since we don't have an MD, we have a rogue, so I guess they're gonna tricks to try to get threat for something. I have no idea. I'm talking out my ass on that, but is that one of the harder fights?
You're doing 10 man though, aren't you? So me and Subtle, it's good because me and Subtle are going to be on sort of a opposing side. So Subtle's done all 25 heroic, but not done Council, Sinestra, and what was the other one you haven't done?
Cho'Gall.
Oh, and Cho'Gall's just going to fall over.
Last three on BOT.
Yeah,
I didn't realize how easy it was on 10 man. We should have probably done that one sooner.
Yeah, Cho'Gall's a fucking joke. Literally, it should be just normal. But yeah. Whereas obviously I've done full 10 heroic multiple times. Whereas 25, I've been like, well, go. Like I've been casually sort of progressing with the NA guild as a disc priest. I've been doing sort of EU progression with the EU 25 man on the feral druid. So So yeah, but like the majority of my experience is 10 heroic, and then I think I've done like eight heroic on 25. But 13 of 13, 10 man.
I watched your Nef prog on 10 man. It was the last pool, like when you guys finally got it, was pretty clean.
Oh,
There was
it was really
issues
clean.
there. Yeah, there was some issues that you guys were running into.
Was I stream?
Yeah.
Did I stream the
Phase
kill?
1. I think I was watching Riggs.
Oh, okay.
I was watching Riggs Pov.
Yeah, because I was trying not to stream because I like, and for any like chunk, I know you're in the 10 man, and there's other people probably that are watching this now that are in the 10 man. I don't stream. One reason I don't want to be distracted during progress, and I'm very easily distracted. Someone will say something in chat, and I'll be like, "What?" Like I can't help myself. You know, I'll want to talk to them. That's part, and the other part is like some of the wipe fest we've had. I'd rather stay quiet on the other side of the mic where people can't see how frustrated I am, to not like bring the spirits down, if you know what I mean. I don't mean that in a bad way, but when you're wiping and like over and over again, and it's like, fuck me, this is so brain dead easy. Like, how can you not do this? It's better I say nothing. Like, they'll be able to read my body language if they can see me on stream. So there's like,
not to like gas you up or anything too, but like you're a pretty big creator. So like when people are rating with you, I'm sure there's people who go back and watch your VOD. And it's like, maybe you say something about one player. So they're like, oh, he died to this, he can't do that. And it's like, that guy's going to feel bad afterwards. You know, I've thought about stuff like that before too in the past. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't feel great. You know, like nobody wants to be like that.
Oh, so, I'm a very open book, mate. I'd say it to them on Discord. Like, no. It's less like if someone's fucking up, I will tell them. Like, Go knows how brutal I am. I'm me. You know, I will just call people out. But yeah, very openly and call them a cunt. Like, I don't care. I can be very harsh. But it's more like if you're doing progress, you need to all be positive. It's like, right, okay, that's another wipe. Don't worry. Like, let's go again. But when we wipe and I'm like, oh my fucking God, like, are you serious? You can't do this shit. That's not really going to do a lot for anyone, is it? I won't be able to hold it in, so I don't stream. But yeah, like our Nef kill, bearing in mind, so what Go just said, it was super clean. It was. Our Nef kill was fucking like world first worthy. 0 deaths, no combat reses. We could have gone for another 2 or 3 minutes. You know, it was just chill, super chill. What you didn't see was the 40 or 50 wipes before that, where the tank couldn't like fucking reset the ads once. So you know, like Nef is one of those frustrating fights, and I'm hoping Subtle will agree. Like maybe both on 10 and 25, where once those few people that have got some responsibilities, once it clicks and everyone knows what they need to do, then it's like, we can do this all day. Like, it just starts to feel like second nature. But it just took far too fucking long for it to feel like second nature to me, personally.
I mean, there's different strats for like phase 1, at least for normal. I don't know if it carries over to heroic at all, where you can get Nef down and eat some of the whatever the 10% health.
No, don't do that.
Is the crackles.
You don't do that on heroic
at all.
Well, actually, we don't. I don't know. Do you do that on heroic, Subtle, on 25?
On 25, you definitely do, yeah. Just because you want to get some of your like raid CDs going early, because you're going to be pushing last phase pretty quickly. And you don't want to be in that last phase as, you know, if you can be in the last phase shorter, that's ideal. Like, start that phase at 71%. So, you know, the ads don't have to be handled well for too long before you get the kill. So on 25, yeah, pretty typical to like push 2 crackles, have Nef, you know, low 70s. But on 10 man for sure, like, having those extra like raid CDs for the last phase is not really important. So we're just doing like I tank Nef and Ani right in the middle. Phase 1, we just burn through Ani, push right to phase 2 for 10 men.
Yeah, we solo tank. So do you 3 tank 25 then? Are you having a tank on Ani, tank on Nef, tank doing ads?
Yeah, that's what we've been doing at the moment. Yeah, it's one Ani, one Nef, one on ads, and then the last phase, that third tank, they just like assist with anything that gets away from the ad tank. So like when they respawn, that's when like threats spotty, and the third tank is just looking for anything that's like getting away from the ad tank and bringing it back to them. Then the ad tank takes it, and that's about it. Like as we like get more geared and we're like clearing quicker and stuff, I'm sure we'll go to the 2 tank for 25 men too.
I know Scotty's healer was ripping threat off of the ads when they would spawn and stuff. And that seemed to be like a little hold up for them on a couple of attempts.
Yeah, so we just sent the healer out. That was it. I mean, that did help a bit, just having the healer just out with the tank. But to be honest with you, our biggest downfall, and I don't know whether this sounds good or bad, I'm not really sure, it was the Dominion buff. We had to stop using it. It was just, we was just killing the boss too fast. But we was like, we couldn't just like 2 people got Dominioned and then would get full stacks and push the boss. Like there was one, I got like a full stack of Dominion and I was like critting Templar's Verdicts for like 300k, 400k. It was like I literally could push 10% of the boss's health myself in like 4 or 5 seconds. So it was like we had to just like try and rein that in a bit and be like, we'll use it at times where we know we've got a big cooldown where we can push from one crackle to the next quite quickly, and the rest of the time it was like, and I was calling it out, I was like, no dominions, just break, instantly break. And then it was like, right, we've got barrier ready, Dominion, like push, but we could only push when we knew we had something big to use.
Yeah.
Have you done Casey, have you done heroic Neff?
No, I haven't done heroic Neff. We're pretty middle of the road in terms of like progression, so I haven't seen like a bunch of the later end bosses. So in terms of like difficulty, I haven't seen anything crazy yet. It's kind of just like getting people to understand the fight and stuff like that. So I think the hardest thing that we've done so far is like Conclave, and that wasn't too bad. Like once we figured out how to do it, it was kind of like pretty simple. Right now we're progging Valiona and then probably Cho'Gall, and then we got to finish up Maloriak, but I think we know how to do Maloriak. It just seemed like just waiting a lot more because we just tried to Zerg it a couple of times and that didn't work. So
I know Scotty saw my Cho'Gall progression, but it's subtle. You had something to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about heroic Neff a little bit. Basically, like as Scotty kind of mentioned, like it's pretty quick for most of the group to like get down what they need to do, but then like the ad tank, usually what's like limiting you from getting to kill is like the ad tank kind of like figuring out what they gotta do. That's like kind of the hardest part of the fight in my experience, is just the ad tank, handling the ads. But the ads, when they die, they like reset their threat, but then they're accumulating threat the entire time they're dead. So that's why like they'll go to the healers a lot of the time. So like you just really got to be able to like burst threat, any like dots you can put on them too, like as they're about to die is good, just to like continually get threat. And just basically so I've seen a lot of people say like you need to kite the ads, and that's like absolutely not what you want to do at all. Like it's essentially you just stand there, you face tank them. When Shadow Flame Spark has 1 second on its cast, you move the ads and like 15 yards, and then you face tank them again. That's all you do. You're standing still. You're doing like a small move, standing still, doing a small move, standing still. And it's just very, very controlled like that. I've seen, I don't know where people are like in this idea that you need to like kite the ads and like you can't get hit by them and stuff, but that is not the case at all. You do not want to do that. So
the reason people feel that way, it's got to be because when they enrage, they just chunk you. So you don't want them to get enraged, I'm sure, right? They get hit by the Shadow Flame, and then
but that's why you're moving. That's what Sot was saying. So Shadow Spark is what fires the flames out, and it fires them at an ad. So if you've got them, you're face tanking them all. You're looking at your timers, and you're like, I would move on 2, but 1, whatever. Like you see it coming in, you start moving. So whilst you're moving, the boss is going to fire it out. You've already moved out of the path of where the fire is about to land. Then you go to face tanking again. When they start to get like higher stacks as a Holy Paladin, you can Holy Wrath and then carry on moving. Don't Holy Wrath like 3 seconds before fire's about to come in. But, you can buy yourself some time and just give the healer an easier time, AoE stun and then move, 10, 15 yards away. So now they've got the run time as well. there's things you can do, but you're still not kiting. You're just going like,
Oh,
here,
of course not. Yeah.
here, healer, breathe. Like, you don't need to heal me for 5 seconds, 6 seconds, whatever. But yeah, it is very controlled. When I watch tanks just running around the outside and Neff spinning in the middle, it's like, what the fuck? Why are you moving so much? Like, what are you actually doing?
No, I definitely, I was that idiot running around on my warrior like the first few times that I tanked it, and then I did it like the other night, and I was like, wait, as long as they're not enraged, you can just face tank these things. Like they're fine, especially with like shockwave and stuff. It was completely fine. But
It's
yeah,
it's
I
all
know
about
you mean,
that
like,
one timer. Honestly, that one timer. That's all you need to look at as an ad tank. And it's like, as long as you're moving before it comes in, your job's fairly easy. Other than, actually, to be fair, that when they go down and then they're running all over the place and you're trying to get them all fucking taunted and like, we had a DK doing it, which Subtle you probably appreciate. As a DK doing those ads like, you've got a harder time. You've got an easier time on most fights, but as a DK doing that, it's actually like quite challenging. Shout out to Lee who's in chat who done them well. But yeah, when you haven't got things that you can just like fucking throw a shield and hit 3 of them, then like an AoE taunt and then a single target taunt and an AoE stun, like you ain't got any of that shit. Doing it as a DK is probably the most challenging of all the off tanks for them, actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I haven't done it on DK yet, so I can really say, but yeah, I mean, like, Prop Ally seems like great for it because Hammer of the Righteous, it hits everything all at once. You got Holy Wrath you can pop too to keep them from moving, like right when they spawn. Consecration, obviously, and then Warrior, you got Shockwave for like big initial threat. Can keep them together for a bit too. Can Thunderclap. So yeah, it seems like DK is probably the worst for it, just like based on like skill sets, but I haven't actually done it myself. The dots like ticking while they're dead though, I'm not sure if those actually generate threat like while they're dead. I think they do, but actually I know they do because
they do. Yeah.
I had to stop using Pestilence like as a main tank. I had to make sure I stopped using Pestilence when I was like trying to apply my diseases onto Neff when he landed in phase 1, because then it would put them on all the ads, and then all the ads in phase 3 would just run to me. So yeah, I mean, like Bloody Kate with the dots, like you should actually have a pretty easy time because like the whole time they're dead, like your dots are like ticking on them, and you're getting 500% threat on that, and then you like D&D like right when they res. So it doesn't seem like it should be like that difficult, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's difficult. It's just when you talk through, like even a prop warrior, being able to like reset taunt, to grab those ones that run, like start running away. Just it's more, I don't know. I mean, maybe DK is chill and Lee shit. So I take my shout out to Lee back. Actually, what Subtle just said, you should have had a really easy time. Why did it take so long? You fucking knob.
Oh god, I hope I did get a worm.
Guild drama.
So sorry. I'm so sorry.
Guild's disbanding over this now. Thanks, thanks, Subtle.
Damn. Well, we can raid together, I guess. It looks like you're free now. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll come over. Where are you?
This was my master plan.
Go on.
Another hard boss that looks like Golden Boy is saying is Alakir. No, he's saying Alakir isn't that hard. Ascendant Council. So
on
Council.
10-man. Yeah, on 10-man Alakir's not as hard. I'd still say it's still like reasonably hard though. I don't know. On 25-man, it's like kind of a nightmare though, because there's like this basically this cone of like lightning, and everybody within it like it's chain lightninged, and man, just like it's such a weird fight because like phase 1 is like the hardest part of the fight. There's like so few fights where the first 20% is the hard part, but it's kind of nice because like you just sort of find out immediately if you're gonna like kill the boss or not. It's like the opposite of Syndragosa, where like early at Prague is 7 minutes maybe of like Syndragosa before you get to the hard part, and you like find out if you're actually gonna kill the boss.
Did you find any strats on 25 for Alakir on how to kind of mitigate the RNG? Because I can't tell you how many times people died in 10 man. They were like, "Oh, it's just RNG, like too many things lined up." Like you've got the tornadoes that are going around the room with the little gap in it that you have to clear. You have the knockback mechanic from the boss, and then you've got the lightning. Like, and sometimes you have to make a split second decision, and a lot of times people are making the wrong one and they're dying. So, any tips on how to maybe mitigate some of that?
Yeah, so the easiest way I've found to deal with the tornadoes plus wind burst combo, if the opening in the tornadoes is close to you, then you go through it before wind burst. If it's far from you, you like move with the tornado, like very close to the tornado, but move with it, and then the wind burst knocks you back into like position to like move through the tornadoes. That's the easiest way I've found it. The only issue is like sometimes it takes forever to actually cast the wind burst, and then you've moved decent ways, like traveling with the tornado. If you do have rocket boots, you can just like boot through the back tornado though. And like even if you cast wind burst at a terrible time, like you're so quick that you can kind of get through it. And like just when lightning's on your spot, use personals, do everything you can to live. That's really the like main priority. The phase doesn't last too long. It's pretty unlikely you'll get lightning on your spot twice. So like just send personals, whatever you can do to live if lightning's on your spot, and you'll have a much better time.
I kind of don't want to put input on this, so let Casey go. I don't, because mine's gonna sound so shit. I just don't want to do it because mine is just don't be shit. It's not fucking hard. There's no RNG. That's it. There's no RNG. Use your brain. Like, look, you've got timers. You can see wind burst is coming in, so move through the tornadoes before wind burst comes in, and then get close to the boss. Like all of these people that go RNG fucked me. I look and I'm like, well, this is weird. We've done 50 pulls. RNG's not fucked me once. Like, is he on my side?
I'm so with you, Scotty, actually, because like I was gonna actually ask you both of you how you feel about RNG or whenever people blame RNG, because I personally always think it's bullshit. I've played so many different games over the years. I mean, like I'm gonna compare it to like a card game, for example, right? Card games obviously have a lot of RNG, but it's about planning for the RNG, right? Like, so you like customize your deck, so like when you get the right things, you can like have things coming up for them, and of course it exists, but it's like, if you're getting screwed over it, fight after fight after fight, I don't think it's RNG. I think you're just messing up. That's kind of my take on it. I'm not a top tier raider, but it's like whenever people blame RNG, I'm just like, guys, there are guilds that came in here day one, full cleared everything without wiping. I don't like. Are they blaming RNG? Of course not. Like, there's ways you can adapt to it. So I always get really irritated when people blame it on that because it's just an easy excuse, I guess.
The thing is, I like McNulty, whose message I've just pinned in chat. I know for a fact out of all of the Alakir's pulls we've done together, he has saved me once, as in he life gripped me out of a tornado once. Trust me, we've had a lot of pulls, lot of, you know, like during Prague, actual kills, like everything. And the one time I was in a tornado was nothing to do with RNG. It was purely me being a dick. Like, it was me being bad. I think a lot of people, they're waiting to... Like, Alakira is one where you need to be planning ahead. Like, you can't just be going, oh, shit, look, there's a tornado next to me. I'm going to move from that. Oh, fuck, now wind burst is coming in. It's like, well, no, you already need to know that wind burst is coming in. You need to see the tornadoes coming round and now work out, do I need to move away from the tornadoes and get wind bursted, or do I need to move through the tornadoes and then get wind bursted? You know, you just need to understand the fight, like to eliminate that RNG. And I know that, like, I'm not trying to sound toxic or anything. Like, you know, people just will get that. You know, the more you do the fight, the more you'll realize, oh shit, yeah. Like, actually, I didn't get fucked by RNG. I got fucked because I weren't looking at what I'm doing.
Yeah, a good example I haven't had anything from this expansion necessarily, but I remember I was killing Heroic Lich King the first time, and I was just with this group. I don't really know the guys, and I got Defile the first time on my Ellie Shaman, and I rocket boots, and I get out of the raid because it's going to spawn a big patch on the ground, and I don't want to spawn that on the raid, right? But Ellie Shamans don't have a lot of movement, so we do the next stack. I get Defile a second time. Out of 25 people, it shows me twice. I was in the raid, I didn't have rocket boots, everyone died, and I wiped the group. And it's like, okay, that sucks. I could blame RNG, or I could just get out of the group. Like, just don't be in the group when Defile is coming. And it's like, it's those little things where, yeah, I got screwed a little bit, but it's my fault, you know? So I think people just need to adapt, but
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
but there are RNG things. Like there are things
Yeah,
that can be really, really annoying. And actually, like Ascendant Council, for one, is one where things can quite quickly go against you, no matter how prepared you are. Which I'm sure we'll start talking about our boss soon. But yeah, I don't see Alec here as being one where RNG can like really plays a part.
Well, let me go back to Neff really quick, but then also the same question for Alec here. Like, Subtle, when are you guys popping Lust for each of those bosses in 25?
For Alec here, I'm not sure on the exact stack number, but it's probably sometime around when he's maybe 40%, 45%, around there. It's just once you have lots of damage amp stacks on him from the feedback, basically. Yeah. If you have a ton of damage and you can do phase 2 without Lust, you could pop it in phase 1 to get through that quicker. Phase 1 is typically where people die, but you're probably going to want the Lust in phase 2. So I would save it for that and try to just play well phase 1 and get through there without a Lust.
And Scotty, when are you popping Lust?
We lost phase 3. Yeah, we was lost in phase 1 during prog, and then realized actually like we're all right like in phase 1, and then we just lost phase 3. But normally, like as we go into phase 3, so it's still got feedback stacks for at least a little bit of it. But yeah, just try and get phase 3 over and done with.
Yeah, and then for Neff, we're doing it like towards the end because as like Neff's HP gets lower, he does Shadow Flame Sparks more frequently. So you really want to like towards the end of the fight, like somewhere around like 25%, somewhere like that, just to like really push through that end part of the fight where the Shadow Flame Sparks are happening a little bit quicker and things could get out of hand with the ads.
Yeah, when are you popping Lust on Neff, Scott?
Well, it's a little bit different because 25 heroic to 10 heroic is going to be different. On 10 heroic, we pop it phase 1, literally just fucking burn Onyxia down. Like there's again on the basis that we can't actually utilize the minion fully. Like Lust is just there's just no point in the last phase for us. We'd be going from one crackle to the next too fast that. Even the extra, haste for the healers is not going to keep up with that. So, yeah, we literally just lost Paul.
Are you guys 2 healing Neff on 10?
2 healing.
Okay. Yeah, we've been 3 healing it.
Oh, shit. No, sorry. 3 healing. No, we're 3 healing.
Okay. Damn. Yeah, it sounds like you guys got a ton of damage then because we weren't having to do any of that like Dominion stuff. We were definitely like popping Lust and yeah. So
yeah, no, we're gonna try and 2 heal next week. Yeah, we've got like Chunk, as I say, Chunk Fire Mage absolutely fucking slaps. I have some good pulls. Our Assassination Rogue absolutely fucking slaps. Our Hunter Stark like absolutely slaps. Like yeah, the DPS in the group is fucking really good. But yeah, I mean, but we 2 heal most fights. I think we 2 heal Sinestra. The only fights we 3 heal is Neff. Maybe just Neff. I mean, we 1 tank 2 heal Council. Stark, maybe help me out in chat. I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, the only thing we're 3 healing is Neff right now.
Well, speaking of Council, how is Council going? That's one that
yeah,
the only
he said
boss this week that we've done on normal. We were just like, yeah, we're saving prog for the other fights, cleaning Council up normal, and then we'll come back to that next week. But I haven't seen too much of it. I watched a couple of your attempts, Scotty, but it might have been like a week or two ago at this point, so I don't even remember like what happens in that fight, like why people are skipping it.
Because I'm not going to say it's hard. It's actually probably my favorite fight at tier 11, bizarrely. Just because I like how fucking hectic it feels. I don't like the fact that there's certain things that just don't work properly. And I'm hoping when I say this, people are not like, I don't know, think I'm talking shit. But like, we seem to get the fire bugged quite a lot, where he don't charge back and we just don't get fire. So I don't know if that's a 10-man thing or it happens on 25 subtle. Have you had that?
It definitely happens. I'm trying to remember. There was like something people were thinking caused it, like the person jumps who gets picked or something like that. I forget exactly, but there was something that seemed to be like causing it. But yeah, so when that happens, basically our little emergency strat is that if there's no fire, everybody like gets closer. And I do like
Spin
a
the
quick
boss.
spin of the boss's frontal, yeah. And that just hits everybody with like one tick of fire to get their waterlogged off. But I mean, ideally, you just have that fire. I haven't seen it happen like lately, I don't think, but for a while there, it was happening a bit. It seemed like
We get it all the time. When I say all the time, like, yeah, it happens regularly, and like you say, we have to just get creative with it. You know, if it's the mage's waterlog, we just get him to block, and then the melee can just run in front of the boss rather than the boss being turned. Like, yeah, you just have to have a plan in place for if it don't work. But I think like to say what you said earlier, Subtle. I personally think Council is a bit like a Syndragosa fight. Like, I think phase 1 and 2 are fairly controllable and alright, and then it's like phase 3 is really where are we going to kill the boss or are we going to wipe? But like that's our, you know, we had so many 3-4% wipes, you know, like really really low wipes. Even now, like last week, like this reset just gone. I think we had like a 2% wipe, then went back and killed it, but. Yeah, it's that last phase. It feels like you're just, I don't know, just coasting through the fight. You get to the last phase and just fucking pray that everything goes all right.
Yeah, I haven't done it on 10 yet on a heroic, but on 25, like there's just like so many people everywhere. Everybody's got their chat bubbles on for like all the mechanics and stuff. So like there's just a lot going on. It's like hard to see stuff. And I mean, in phase 2, like the lightning rod, sometimes people don't move out quick enough. You wipe to that. Frozen orb, sometimes people get hit by that. You wipe to that. I imagine on 10, it's like probably a little bit easier with like the fewer people just to kind of see everything that's happening. But yeah, the last phase definitely had a few low percent wipes there. Did you guys have low percent wipes when you switched to the like solo tank 2 heal, or did you always like solo tank 2 heal it?
No, we once we one tank 2 heal, it was a lot more, a lot more consistent. As in, the amount of damage we're getting out. It did then come down to how evenly low can we get both the bosses in both phases. But like, you know, it is just one of those annoying fights. Like everything's going amazing. You're in phase 2, so you got Arian and Terrestria, and then someone just fucks up with an ice orb because they didn't realize it was on them. You know, it's those like really annoying wipes. I don't like. I agree with you 100% though. Like I think I've not done 25 heroic yet. And I already think it's going to be an absolute fucking shit show in phase 1 and 2 with the amount of different people running around doing shit. But in 10 man, it is kind of, you can see someone already going to fuck something up and you can be like, oi, like fucking go, like move from that, like it's on you. Whereas 25, there's going to be so much going on that's just impossible. It's purely personal responsibility. You're relying on everyone just to know what they're doing.
Are you able to tank on 25 too, or?
Yeah, you could. So what we've been doing is We have like our off tank. Generally, it depends on the run I'm in, but generally our off tank doesn't actually have like a DPS spec, so we don't really
Just doesn't anyway.
gain much from like solo tanking it anyway. So typically we're doing like I'm on the fire guy, they're on the ice guy, and they just drag him like 5 yards or whatever for glaciate. But it would be no problem to like solo tank that part. And then phase 2, we're always just solo tanking that because it's just better for cleave. Because if you run into a situation where like one tank gets like one tank runs to like get the tornado buff, the other one it doesn't get it at the same time, then the bosses like kind of get spread apart, kind of hurts the cleave. So we always solo tank phase 2 just so the bosses are always together for cleave. But yeah, I mean it would be pretty easy to solo tank out 25 man the entire thing.
But you can, when the shield goes up, you can backpedal with Feludius anyway, even as a solo tank. So you can, like, everybody can still nuke the shield with Feludius out of range of Ignatius, even solo tanking.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet, so that'll be a good thing to keep in mind.
All right, any other hard boss? We've only got one more quick topic here. The Sod Phase 4 PTR, if anybody's done that.
Well, we've got to talk about Sinestro. Sure, I mean, Sinestro, yeah, we've got to talk about Sinestro, surely, because that's just... yeah, it's definitely up there as one of my favorite fights, and the reason it's up there as one of my favorite fights is because of how fucking irritating the like lack of sort of tech that we've got with cutters. You know, the fact that still hasn't helped. You know, weak auras don't help, DBM don't help. Like, it's all exactly the same, unless users know something that I don't. But as far as I'm aware, if you've got aggro on a whelp and then you get a cutter on you, or like you've got aggro on a whelp and then someone gets a cutter on them, it might still tell you've got a cutter on you even though you haven't. So, like, you still, like, that fight, you have to actually use your eyes rather than, you know, relying on weak auras, which I love.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Like, as a tank, I never get cutter, so I have heard other people say that, though. Like, when they died, they're like, oh, I didn't know I had cutter on me, and all the other DPS are like, yeah, just like look at it and like see if it's on you. But yeah, as a tank, like, it's not a mechanic I like personally deal with, so I'm just off to the side, you know, doing my thing. Last phase, just oh my god, it's so fun with the haste. Like, your rune regen is crazy. It's like 4-second rune regen or something. So you're just like spamming all your rune abilities, just having a blast, and the rest of the raid is, you know, dealing with the mechanics. You're just vibing out with the death strikes and having a good time.
It is a really fun fight. I like the sort of the training wheels is how I call it. Like, phase 1 is like you've got the training wheels on. You know, everything's doing 40% less damage. It's like, right, here you go, like, learn how to do the fight. And then you do phase 2. It's like, cool, little ad phase. Yeah, we'll kill some ads. And then you go into phase 3, and it's like, mate, this is just phase 1. This will be easy. And it's like, well, no, it's not, because now breaths will literally fucking one-shot you when you got rack on. You know, it's just yeah, I do really like it, but I like anything where you can see the difference between a player who is looking at what's going on or who's relying on a weak aura to tell them what's going on. And like, that's it. I reckon the majority of wipes will be to people they're not getting an announcement that they've got cutters on them, or they're getting an announcement and running out, and people are like, why are you running out? There's nothing on you.
Sounds like Shadow Trap in a pre-patch.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Yeah. It's Shadow Trap where everyone was getting blasted off and going, my weak aura weren't working. That is literally what it is.
Oh, I can't wait. I know we gotta get Casey out of here. It is 7:00 my time. That's the time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It works out well, because if you guys are going to talk about Sod anyway, I haven't really been playing it at all. So
Yeah. Quick little Sod talk.
I've got to go as well then.
Yeah.
We'll just leave Go here.
Yeah, I'll be the one just talking sod for an hour by myself.
I appreciate you guys for having me on, though. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude. It's always weird when I reach out to somebody that I haven't met before on the internet. So I know my email might have came across kind of weird, but
it was just surprising, but I was totally down. No, it's I've seen your guys' stuff, so yeah, thanks again, and I'm gonna peace out.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Casey. I'll put all your your YouTube and everything in the description of this VOD.
That's all good.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Good to meet you, Casey. See you later.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna check out your Warrior stuff, by the way, when you post it, because I'm gonna play my Pro Warrior.
Yeah.
I'm doing literally 0 damage, so if you can help me with that,
All right,
that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just getting started on it myself, but yeah, Pro Warrior stuff coming soon.
All right, sweet. See you guys.
Cool. Peace out, mate. Bye.
Yeah, so, I mean, I got to go here pretty quickly too, if that's all right, Scotty. But
I need to sort these cameras out. Hang on. Where's Sol gone? If you want to talk about SOD for 5 minutes, I can give you
for like
5 minutes.
Yeah, like 5 max. So I gotta ask Subtle, have you done the PTR? Have you hopped on there at all?
I have not. I've been out on SOD since day 1 of phase 2. That was the last time I touched SOD. So yeah, it just isn't the version of WoW for me. I'm all in on Cata. When War Within comes out, I'll be checking that out a bit too. But yeah, SOD just ain't it for me.
Well, this can be a really short episode or part discussion then, because I hopped on it and everything seems kind of cool. It doesn't seem like Boomy's in that great of a spot still like we're bottom of the meters. It's going to be another phase of that, but I am looking forward to doing some Molten Core. I like that they changed the world bosses to be instanced to where people can't layer hop and abuse the fuck out of killing the world bosses multiple times in a week. I thought that was bullshit. So great change for that. But I like that they have the PTR at all. Like I've been wanting the PTR since phase 1, like since before phase 1, and every phase would release. Players would drop off because the first week would be buggy as fuck, and they're like, dude, what the fuck is this? Like, people got to abuse stuff. I didn't, and now I'm behind. And so, yeah, at least now we've got a little bit of PTR, so hopefully some of the stuff is a little bit better balanced at the launch of Phase 4. And I think Scotty has been on the PTR a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, and I've been playing a bit of SOD as well. Me and Chunk have been leveling a couple of characters. I've been leveling my Paladin as well. I can't promise I'm going to stick to anything. I'm trying. It feels awful compared to Cata, if I'm honest, but you know, there's a new raid. You know, it's Molten Core. The thing that got me a little bit intrigued was the multiple difficulties, and I was like, I mean, that could kind of be fun. So I kind of want to get a character to 60 just to do that, even if it was just once. But that will probably be about it. Trust me, it has been painful trying to make myself even open the game.
Yeah, for me, that's kind of why I quit. Like it just felt like such a chore. Like the end of phase 1, I gave phase 2 a chance, and I was like, okay, this is just like the same thing again. I'm out.
I just hope that the AV queues are pretty quick, because I've been solo queuing Arathi Basin phase 3 and having hour-long queues no matter when I'm logging in, and it feels like shit, and I just want to hop on, do some PvP like randomly, and that's really limiting me from being able to do what I want to do. I go on Cata, I queue up a BG, queue popped in less than a minute every single time. I'm like, well, maybe it's just a population in SOD. There's just not enough people queuing BGs or something, but hopefully phase 4 pops off, and I want to do some PvP more so than the raid. I know they're doing.
So go. The thing is with me, just like to put it out there, is like I'm not a SOD hater. Like I get why people like it, and like that's cool. And I think I would be a lot more intrigued by it if the raids weren't Molten Core, Black Ring Lair, AQ, and Nax. You know, if I'd be a lot more intrigued if it was like, right, you know, Molten Core and that, cool. They're going to be like some 10-man raids. You can do all that shit if you want. But if they were new, they were like completely different, then I'd feel a lot more intrigued to go and have a look and probably get involved. But when it's still like going to be the same, I'm going to go and kill Ragnaros in a few months in Cata. Like, what do I need to go and kill it on Sod for?
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Right.
like they teased like the Karazhan Crypts at BlizzCon. So I think when they like showed that, like people, you know I for sure kind of thought there'd be like more new stuff than just kind of like rehashed old stuff, but that didn't really seem to be the case. So that was one of the reasons that I was out on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm the same. Yeah, like give us a completely new raid, and then I might actually go back and play it. And they teased Scarlet Monastery as well, didn't they? Like something with Scarlet Monastery, and unless it will come, you know, like post Nax or something, maybe, I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see. Like, the raids in Cata are just so good, and the raids in MOP that are coming up are so good. It's like I've only, even though I play a lot, I've still only got so much time.
Yeah, like the next few years of like, or probably 2 years, I don't know, of like a current classic, you know, Cata and MOP, it's gonna be for me like the best part of classic we've had so far. Like this is what I'm the most excited for. Like it started with Wrath, really. Like I had a blast in Wrath. I loved Wrath, but then like Cata, absolutely amazing so far, and just gonna continue to be amazing. Then going into MOP, like the best expansion of all time, I think. Like we just have such a good couple of years of classic still to come. So like saw to me, like it just like isn't super appealing on its own. And then the fact that we're in like the golden age of like classic right now too, like there's not really any chance I'm like spending time on SOD.
Are you planning on doing any MOP private servers now or now?
He's already on it in Minis Guild, aren't they? They're already leveling.
I a lot of people in our guild have played like a lot of MOP private server. I haven't. That is something I definitely want to do though. Like once probably phase 1 of Cata is like cooling down a little bit, and like all my raids are 2 hours 1 day a week kind of thing. Then definitely looking to like start some MOP P server stuff.
Well, we're on Stormforge season 2. If you want some casual shit in the background until your guild starts going sort of hard on it, so just shout. As I say, there's quite a lot of us. We're probably going to start doing 10-mans in the next week or so. So
okay, yeah, I'll check that out for sure.
All right. Anything else, Scotty?
No, I really enjoyed that. I mean, I really enjoyed actually just catching up and talking about the raids and what we've all been doing. Yeah, really cool.
Brilliant. Subtle, thanks for coming back for the 3rd, 4th, 5th time now. You've been one of our more regular guests on the show, so thanks for coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun. I love talking with you guys. You guys are, awesome, super passionate about classic WoW, just like me, and that's always fun. But yeah, anytime you need a guest, just hit me up.
Always, mate, always.
Cool. And shout out your podcast really quick.
Oh yeah, the Week's End Tavern, just weekly like WoW news podcast. We do a lot of listener questions too. People submit those in my Discord. I usually get really good discussion from those, like variety of topics, like tips for like raid leading and tips for like new tanks, things along those lines. But yeah, any questions you guys have, we can answer those on the show, and usually get some really good discussion going from it. So
you do that live Monday nights?
Yeah, typically it's gonna be Monday nights, usually around like 11 p.m. Pacific, but then I upload it to YouTube the next day too. And this week actually we're gonna have Riani back on again, really good tank content creator. So we had him on a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago at this point, I'm not really sure, but yeah, he's gonna be back. Should be a really, really good time. He's been hitting the tanks hard on all the heroic raids, and it'll definitely be fun to catch up with him and get his opinions on everything.
Cool.
Oh, again, obviously, Subtle, yeah, I'll put all your details in the description at some point tomorrow during the day. So, yeah, if anyone wants to go and find Subtle and these podcasts, you will know where to go.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Always a blast.
Thanks for coming, man. Cheers, go.
Thank you, Scotty. I don't know when our next show is going to be. Are we going to try to hit one up on Wednesday or any plans?
I was kind of hoping that I could get Subtle as the new co-host and maybe get rid of you.
Hey, that works. That works.
Oh, no, I feel bad now you've said that. So, yeah, let's do one on Wednesday. Let's do one on Wednesday, and we'll see what we're talking about on Wednesday. I don't know what it's going to be now, but yeah, we'll do one on Wednesday.
Yeah, we covered a lot tonight, yeah.
We did. Cool. All right. Well, guys in chat, thanks for the super chat. So I'm assuming there was at least one. I remember seeing one.
There was one.
Yeah,
there was
one. Just the lonely one super chat. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're watching the VOD, you can do a super thanks instead. If you've sat all the way through this shite. Cool. So go. Peace out, everyone in chat. Much love. We'll see you Wednesday.
Yep.
See you later.
Just gonna sit here and sort of just stare awkwardly at the screen just for a second.
Yeah,
Where's that awkward YouTube delay? It's really annoying because it kind of it don't end when you press end. It always cuts off the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, I mean that Casey cunt that we had on tonight, man, what a fucking